Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, a little changed as we head into the second trading session of the brand new year, 2021. Coming off a pretty negative showing for the first day on Monday, the S&P had its worst first trading session of a year since 2016. On Monday. The Dow, meanwhile, was on track for its worst first day of the year since 1936, but late session rally did pair some of those gains. The Dow still down about 382 points by the end of the session. Concerns over continued spread of the COVID-19 virus throughout the globe and the possible ramifications on the economic recovery still in focus as far as countries and markets are concerned. The UK imposing its third straight countrywide COVID-19 shutdown. Lockdown completely as of Monday. Investors will also be monitoring the Georgia Senate runoff that could have big implications for the cannabis space. We'll talk about that coming up. The two Democratic candidates in that runoff recently moving ahead in the polls. We're also watching Chinese EV makers once again back in positive territory. Tesla a little change this morning, but we saw NIO, Li Auto, XPEV as well back to the upside once again. We'll talk about those. And big name tech shares, relative weakness to start the week. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon all making big moves to the downside. It is Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Japan, Australia, both to the downside. Everything else nicely higher. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. Yeah, a bit of a mix showing once again. We have England trying to get positive. Everything else in negative territory. We'll have a look at North American futures as well. See the NASDAQ, Dow, and S&P all in negative territory. The Dow actually off the lows here, trying to get back to the upside. TSX futures here in Toronto, basically flat on the morning. 0.1% to the upside. Look at Bitcoin again today, 2.4% to the upside. Crude oil, 1.3%. Had a big move in gold to start the week. It's positive once again today, 0.3%. Yeah, a big move for gold yesterday to start the new week and the new year. Good morning, guys. Brand new day. We have lots to get through this morning, lots to talk about. A lot of those little names that we've been discussing over the past week or so back in negative territory this morning. EV makers as well, also showing some strength again today.
Well, some of the EV makers coming back a little bit. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a bounce in, I saw an NIO just a couple of seconds ago, but it just turned a bit red. It was the worst opening day in quite some years now. Opening day, I don't know, first day of the year. But obviously, you know, it was a unique end to the year. It was a unique year, 2020. So I guess we should have expected the unexpected. A lot of those bigger names, you know, you saw Apple, deeper sell-off than I think was anticipated. Microsoft with a bit of a sell-off as well. And you know, the market looking teetering on negative today. But the real story, the runoff. And you know, all eyes are going to be on that Senate race. We've talked about the implications of that time and time again here, Sean. And that's what everyone's going to be watching. But there's no guarantees because it's close. And ignore this. We'll talk about ALRN in a few minutes here. One of my trades here in the pre-market. But all eyes are going to be on that race. No guarantees that you will see a resolution if it's very close. This could possibly run into in the next couple of days, or maybe we finally get an answer at the end of the day today, Sean. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Certainly, the cannabis names are already pricing in a bit of a win, it seems.
Yeah, we did a decent trade yesterday on CGC. I'd still say, even though we go back and forth about which stocks to trade here, I still do like CGC. So let me find the Weed Batman here, and we'll find that they're coming into play today. But okay, so what I wanted to look at here was what Neil talked about earlier. There was the move that we had yesterday. So this is just QQQ. So this is the NASDAQ 100. So we do know about that. And look, I mean, you know, huge move down off the open. It just kept going. And then at about noon, we kind of found a base before we start moving back to the upside. And I'm just really, I wasn't pleased, obviously, with yesterday's move to the downside. I mean, some of the bigger names, DraftKings, Fastly. I mean, you talked about Apple, Microsoft, all the tech names got hit in this, of course, but then we didn't close on the low. We actually had a nice little rally back, almost made back half of what we lost. So that was a really, really nice ending to the day. You often see that if the stocks can close a little higher on the day, then that's a very big positive. So I like this move of $4 or $5, about getting back about half. So bottom 305, we opened 315, so halfway in is about, obviously, is 310. So right there, a little bit of a jump off spot. But now today, guys, we're starting to head back south side. So this is the NASDAQ 100. We're talking about NASDAQ names. You got to watch out for this bottom here of 305.50. Let's see if we can hold yesterday's bottom. I think if we hold yesterday's bottom, then it's going to be a takeoff to the upside, and then we'll look at some Apples, Facebooks, Microsoft, things like that. But for right now, yeah, I'm just watching out very, very close here to see what happens to yesterday's number at noon. We can find out what it was on the NQs, but this is just the triple Q. So 305.50, if that comes into question today, we could have
rally about $2.50 off the lows. So yeah, we'll definitely have to watch tech stocks once again today. Before we get into what's moving around so far this morning, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. I wish you a great trading day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit thumbs up, and share the link with friends. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll have a look at the top 10 traders from Day Trade the World as of Monday. Nice numbers. That was a combination of graphics there to kick things off. Yeah, nice numbers coming out of Europe, mostly in number one, 36,800 from Amsterdam, Helsinki, Milan, Paris, the Zitra Exchange in Germany, 24,000, number two. More European. Look at this, Europe all the way down to number 4 before we get into OTC. The BOVESPA in Brazil, more OTC, and then you got to go all the way to number 6 before you get any kind of U.S. markets traded yesterday. So more great numbers coming from traders here at Day Trade the World. Going to be an interesting session. Want to kick things off by touching on a stock we haven't talked about in quite some time. Coty, guys, C-O-T-Y, with an announcement this morning. We mentioned this maybe the middle of last year, I want to say. They announced that they were going to purchase a 20% stake of Kim Kardashian West's beauty business. They have now closed that deal, guys. So, I mean, it's news that we already knew of, but COTY, an interesting stock, has had some strength of late, moving back to the upside this morning on this.
It's actually,
I didn't know what's happened.
No, I was gonna say it's. I mean, I'm actually not seeing like too much movement on this stock. Maybe my chart is frozen a little bit there. We can go to Sean, but this was one of those stocks that I think we had some interest in only because of that news release. And again, I'll have to reload my chart in a second to be able to throw that one up there. But I don't know how much I want to weigh into this one too deeply with Coty. It's probably just going to be a one-day trade, if anything. And then we'll see if there's anything to that deal closing. I mean, it's, the thing about when you have expected news, which has already run the cycle and has already boosted the stock and has already been heavily talked about, when you actually get the deal closed, unless there was some anticipation or speculation that there was going to be some issues or something changed, you're unlikely to see anything, if not a little bit of selling sometimes on that news. And we've seen it with, whether it's the second half of the day with the deliveries, in the EV space where they all beat, you get the run to the upside, and they all sort of pull back in the afternoon, and you get that little bit of sell the news. We've seen it with some of those SPACs where the second the deal closes, all that crazy run up that you've seen 2-3x tends to taper off for a couple of days, and it's much ado about nothing. So it could be the same thing here on Coty, but I'll have to take a little bit of a deeper look when I get a chance.
Yeah, I was just looking I didn't look at this today because I was just mentioning to the guys 17,000 shares, not too much, but yeah, Kim Kardashian West. Let's just see if anything happens today. Like Neil said, a lot of this move is already baked in. There's not a whole hell of a lot here on even the imbalance locator today as we go. We always see NEO there. We have gold. General Electric's being sold off a little bit right now. I think that's worth picking some up on any kind of dip there. Boeing going to crack 200 today, it looks like. So there's a few names on board. Coty, not one of them on here. So I'm not super excited about that. I'm more actually excited to see what happens here with some of these cannabis names. And Neil touched on that with the runoff happening earlier or happening today. I don't know when the results will come in. I mean, is President Trump even going to leave the White House anyways? So we'll see what happens when that comes through. But 24.60, we hit CGC yesterday in this nice move when Brendan brought this to our attention, breaking these highs yesterday in the afternoon. We were trading it in here, down on the low side, but then we do take off. So that's a good sign, and then now we up to the high. So I just want to call up CGC here on a daily chart just to have a quick look at some key levels here. 25, we're well above that. If we can get through 27, guys, it's clear sales. So this high is actually 26. We're above that. I'm looking at 26.50, 27 and change on CGC. So I would say let's try to pick these a little bit through the weeds today and get some cannabis names rolling. I like CGC. And then if you have Afria as well, APHA, of course, with Tilray, the merge happening right there. They're going to go, we got to find out what the data is on that. I'm not sure, but they're going to go under symbol TLRY. They're going to keep Tilray. But again, the same kind of thing. If we can get above the 750 mark and get rid of some of this garbage there, then Afria should be at least worth a couple pennies as well. So I have Afria and CGC on watch here to break out. But remember, it's like we have a button here. I don't know where it is, but it's a trap, because the thing about it is, you know, you're putting all of your faith sort of in what happens with the election, right? And I just think that don't hold cannabis stocks for a long term. I'd rather wait to see what happens here on the play and then make your move, right? And so we got to see what happens here with the election. But as it starts trickling in, I guess we'll see more and more where we stand. And probably not till the afternoon you're going to get something reasonable.
Yeah, it looks like 7 o'clock. I'm seeing 7 o'clock. The first results are going to start rolling in, so it should be, known at least by that point what is happening. The news that we learned yesterday that saw some of these stocks catch a bid initially was that the two Democratic candidates in this race had actually moved ahead in the polls. Take what you will from the polls at this point, but we'll have to see as results do come in tonight. So should be an interesting one at that. Let's jump over to this Fubo TV, guys. We've had this huge collapse on Fubo TV from 63.75 all the way back to 24.89. Now, we bring up 24.89 simply because there's been multiple analysts come out saying $25 is what this stock is actually worth. So we're seeing a nice little pop here in the pre-market on Fubo, 7.6%. The first day in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down days. So a little bit of a bump for Fubo today.
Yeah, what goes down must come up. I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure it was either yesterday or maybe late last week when I was asking myself where this thing was going to turn and what the bounce might be. I did think that yesterday 25 was going to be that shot, and there just wasn't. The consolidation wasn't there. I think that's in part to the sell-off that you saw sort of across the board on almost everything that was a crazy high flyer, whether it was the IPOs, whether it was all the recent SPACs. It just felt like many of these were coming to the downside, and there wasn't any bottom to be found. I mean, obviously later on in the session, like 130, but as Sean alluded to, that was sort of corresponding when Apple and some of the big names turned the market around. So I don't know how much I would have read into that. 25. I mean, it seems as good as any. If I liked it yesterday, it's hard not to like it today as a bit of a base. Clearly, when you talk about gaps to fill, 15-minute, not necessarily going to do it justice here. There's a daily chart. It wouldn't be much for this to get back to $30 on any kind of a bit of a rally here, and I think 25 is as good a base as any. I'd prefer to buy the dip into 25, but if there's just a momentum play to be had, I'll probably, instead of like on Neo, where I was picky about the exact price I had to get on a dip, I'll probably just try to catch anything that I can if there is a bit of a sell into the open, pairing some of this gain off, and then see if today is a runner. But 25 has to be a bit of a stop there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at Fubo too much, but yeah, nice little move to the downside as we look at this. And wow, $61. And actually, when this was happening, we did talk about this. There's ACY as well as Fubo just going nuts here all the way to the upside. But we talked about this little level yesterday that Neil just talked about, and that was 28 to 30 here and some consolidation there. It looks like we may have found a bottom. I mean, believe it or not. The stock starts from 10, that's fine, forget about that, but then you do have some interest here. Check where some of these volume spikes are, like they're in and around here, and then we did have, obviously, big time volume on these moves up, but there was building a base here with decent volume, so I kind of like these kind of bottoms. And what are we at right now today? 26 and change. So let's check a 3-minute chart there. So do we have this consolidation? Yeah, Fubo's along, guys, through 27. I'll put my stamp on that.
All right, guys, a little merger deal just coming in. Neil was mentioning PEC. PECK, if you're wondering on that one, they're acquiring this iSun Energy, which is a privately held company at this point, which creates solar-powered electric vehicle infrastructure. Looks like $2 million near-term revenue commitments, 30 to 40% projected gross margins. I'll continue reading on that, but this PEC, it's actually NASDAQ, not New York. We can have a look at that one. PEC, 80% on this news. It's EV, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's EV and clean energy, so I think this is sort of the other end of the coin there, and we just sort of talked about this with cannabis and obviously the runoff today. So in addition to possible infrastructure spending, which has all kinds of other consequences, if you get an even bigger bill, then you start talking about inflation and the 2% average target and when does the Fed start easing? Anyways, that's another discussion that I think is going to be interesting in the first quarter this year. So you start thinking about clean energy plays as well. They could all stand to benefit from it. Is this the reason why, while making this acquisition, you're seeing an 80% run up in something like PEC, which is rather large for the acquirer here? It is in the right space, and I guess it's sort of also the right headline. The one thing I have with caution for this name, and we'll go over some of the pre-market trades that I'm actually looking at in the small caps that I want to have before the open. But just looking at the level 2 here on PEC, this is very thinly traded, and the first thing that jumps out to me is I keep seeing a 10-cent spread on a $10, $11 stock. So I'll trade with caution. It just feels like this one might, and I'll have to double check to make sure about the actual size of the float here on PEC. I thought it was bigger, and I'd see much better liquidity than I'm seeing here. So you're gonna trade this one with caution. Certainly, it wouldn't be nuts on this deal that maybe it continues to rise. It does have a bit of a profile for it to roll over. I just didn't expect it to have taken that 11.25 top, which it just did. Again, I think if that had held, I probably would have been shorting off of the high. But this one looks a little too strong for me right now to jump into any shorts. And like I said, it's in the right space. And on this day, it's going to be difficult to fade some of the names in clean energy.
We just got in, so let's just wait to see here. Oh man, because I did download the new software, my things are going to be wrong. Yeah, so we're in on an 11 break here on PEC. I like the float, and yeah, I mean, obviously this is a big move up. So from $8.30 to $6 to $11, so you're basically double right now, but we're in the money right here, 25 cents and still going 30 cents. We're long right now. You can see at the bottom, 11.01. So a nice little 25-cent win right now already on PEC. If you go to the daily chart, yeah, we have this high right here, 11.40. We've already made that high a couple months. Was it a couple months ago? Yeah, October 13th. And then I don't know what these were, if these are real or not. We'll double check on another software, but 14.50. So right now, guys, yes, sir, we start the day off with a Mamma Mia, nice little 50-cent win right there, breaking through 11.50. Let go, PEC, let's go. We're going to put this up on our Twitter account as well. Here we go, another 50-cent win brought to you by yours truly. Let's hit the Papa Wheelie early. But hey, look, you don't capture profits unless you get out. So we got to get out of this one. But right now, 70 cents, guys, in the money here on PEC. Thank you so much, Mr. Brendan.
All right, yeah, EV will do it. Even at 8:48 in the morning. Let's talk about cryptocurrencies here a little bit, guys. We saw as we started things off there, Bitcoin back to the upside. Yeah, I just brought this up. BTBT, 12.8% downside today. This thing is relatively thin and moves a lot, but quite a pullback here for some of these blockchain-oriented type stocks this morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, volatility is certainly, we're mentioning this, of course, the last couple of weeks here, and volatility is definitely a big part of this entire story. You don't get multi-day run-ups like this without some kind of a pullback. If you believe in it, then you know that these are usually pretty healthy. So you can look at 12%, and it seems extreme, but ultimately, it's when you're talking about 6-7x in the last couple of days, 12% is basically a drop in the bucket. The thin is what matters here, Brennan, because it's going to be short sell restricted today because it's down that 12%, and we can have another discussion one of these days about stocks that are up 500, 600%, and then go back down 12% and get short sell restricted, and whether that makes sense or not. But it's going to be very difficult to find that liquidity. Now, I would have been looking at this break off of the open anyways, a 27, but you can't hit that bid, and when you can't hit the bid, and the levels look like this, 600,000 shares, there's just not a heck of a lot actionable. You're looking for size of support to get in and out of your positions. You're not necessarily wanting to pay the spread when it opens up there. I'm probably going to stay well clear of BTBT until we get the open trade. I do feel like at some point it's going to catch a bounce, but you've sort of been looking for that day to sell off, and I've been looking for a BNGO to sell off, and it's like today's the first day it gaps down, and BTBT, similar story. I had one trade on BTBT yesterday. It was a short off of the top. It was probably my most successful short trade, and it was just waiting for that little consolidation lower. So I'm kind of looking for the same thing here today. We're gapping down a little bit. If we have a little bit of consolidation, maybe retesting that 27 and then fail from there, that would be worth a shot. But that's definitely a post 930 type of play for me because, as you said, Brennan, liquidity, little thin there.
And guys, we're doing backflips over here because now we're $1 in the money on Peck. So here goes Peck. We just tweeted that out. And again, guys, low float, breaking levels. You see a little bit of a base here. This to me was a no-brainer. We took that. That's a 60-cent win. Now you're in the money over $1 right here. So that's 10% already on this little name. So Lori, where are you? Catch those flying hot dogs right now on Peck, guys. We're going to keep going on this one. I mean, look, it's an early win. It's not a lot of shares, but we definitely like putting money in our pocket early. I hope you guys did as well. Let's go.
All right, guys, let's jump into what is on the watch list this morning. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for the watch list. We get it out to you every single morning before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. Yeah, it's the Morning Movers watch list. You get all the names that are moving in the pre-market and a little write-up on why, even at the bottom here if you need it. Our latest educational video on chart patterns. Have a look at that. Great stuff in there. But let's jump in. If you haven't, as I said, signed up for the watch list, make sure you do so. Valeria will help you out in the chat. The first one on the list this morning, guys, Apple. I mentioned right at the start of the show, some of the big name tech companies showing relative weakness yesterday, kind of leading the market sell-off until we got to that bottom that we saw Sean was mentioning about mid-afternoon. We did get a bit of a bounce into the close. So some significant levels put in yesterday, possibly on some of these tech names, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Apple a lot, and nothing's going to stop my opinion of that one. And I think it's better to own, not trade. We talk about that all the time. There's going to be better names than Apple, but when it's moving like it was last week, we were able to crush Apple, went all the way to 138. But then last couple of days, especially yesterday, obviously you have that basically just got murked all the way back down here from 134. As soon as we cracked the low of 132 there from Thursday, I keep saying Friday, from Thursday. That's sort of we had some back and forth there. It was battling with the bottom of the day, and then it just broke. And you saw, I mean, it broke early, right? This is 9:30, basically right off the open, breaks that low, tries to get going again, and then just gets hammered. And this is where, you're right, Brendan. This is where you turned to me and said, when's the last time Apple was down 4%? I said, probably a long time. Let's buy it. And then you get straight to the upside there, a couple bucks right back. So I think you're right. We have built some levels off here, 129, 129.75 there on the long side. And then really you got to look at this 127. I mean, I know it's 128.60 right now. The NASDAQ just pushed, look how easy it falls. I mean, easy come, easy go. But, it takes a little while to get up, and then like one candle down, bang, almost takes back that whole half hour there. So you got to watch out for the NASDAQ, and you see Apple trading accordingly. Let me just show you exactly the chart there. Apple up, but then look at the fall. Just ding, 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 ding. These are 3-minute charts, right? So you basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 blah. Like 15 or 16 straight 3-minute candles downside right now this morning on Apple before finally trying to bounce a little bit right now. So I think this 128 has to be looked at. I don't even know if it should be defended. Normally I'm down here buying this stock, but if the market wants to fall down, man, I mean, you have to let Apple go, because Apple, the largest weight in any index, NASDAQ 100, S&P, you name it, it's going to be one of the largest weights. It is the largest weight in any of those major ones. So I'm looking at Apple to take this market even further down. But this 127, that's a level that I think we can look at. We talked about that yesterday with the triple Qs. So let's watch 127, and then if it gets real spicy, maybe we get back to 131. And then if so, I think we could short around 130.50 if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at, I like that fade trade, that 131, 130.50 area if we get up there. In terms of defending levels, just worth noting how that 127 went. And I think with Apple, the mistake sometimes is jumping in front of a level instead of allowing it to break down. This is just a 15, just for a bit of a bigger look at how we've come back from that 139. It's just how it breaks. That 127 goes and then snaps right back. So if you stand in front of it, the solution would be not to have a hard stop at the round number if that's the way you want to play the trade, or just wait for it to bounce back to the upside and try to catch it on the upswing. But having a stop at 127 yesterday, you could have picked the level right, and then it still wouldn't have worked out for you. So that's what I would tend to avoid in Apple, and that's a change I'm making when I'm trying to bottom pick on a name that I kind of really, really believe is going to get that turn. Don't have that hard stop at the most obvious level. Try to give it some room. I believe there's some upgrades and some downgrades to get to. I know one of them we want to talk about. Always like that one stock that gets ignored, Brendan, and I see it on the upgrade list there at the bottom.
There's lots. Yeah, no, a full slate, guys, of upgrades and downgrades. Micron, obviously, the one that Neil's mentioning here. Some Chinese strength again today. JD.com with a price target increase. Micron with a positive note and a price target increase from multiple analysts. So Micron is on the list. We'll talk about that coming up. I was more kind of shocked to see this over here. Deutsche Bank this morning with a cautionary note on Tesla and a price target decrease. So a little bit negative so far for Tesla. Canada Goose, Airbnb, HSBC. We saw a whole bunch of analysts initiate coverage yesterday on Airbnb. There's more today, some with sell ratings. Guys.
Yeah, I mean, Micron gets something. I kind of joke around when I say Micron gets forgotten. I think it's just because NVIDIA and AMD tend to steal some of the thunder there. But it's been an interesting ride towards the top here in Micron. And I like this consolidation high, but of course the market is also bouncing back. And I think that tells a little bit of the story. If we catch a 77 break through the top, and as long as we're not falling like a crater, that could be an interesting play. But I mean, 76 sell-off here. You look what happened yesterday at that same price, and then you look at this pre-market low here. There could be a bit of a scalp trade on any weakness in Micron, and sometimes you see that upgrade coming, and if the market direction is southbound, there's some profits that certainly get taken there. And I saw the graphic, Sean, so I'm assuming PEC is still going.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is like it's a very, very simple play here. Breaks through 11, guys. 11.70, we get out for a quick 70 cents there, or 60 cents, whatever this price was. But this is unbelievable again right now. So here you go, guys. This is a 20% win on your money. Some people put their money in T-bills, and you get 1% if you're lucky. Here's $3 right now on PEC. So look. What I trade on the show, right? Alibaba. Where's Jack Ma anyways? Alibaba, we trade that. I trade the big caps. I trade the CCLs of the world. And here we go, destroying PEC right now. So if you're looking for a show where we trade it all, we're your guys right now. Here goes PEC up 124%. We're long at 11 right now. It just takes 14. Now you're coming back to the downside. Look, it's not a huge amount of shares. We had a monster day yesterday on CCL, on Palantir, on NEO. And then now today, man, we turn our attention to PEC, and then we just absolutely destroy this one. So yeah, Neil, you're right. That's why we go bang. And if you guys are having audio problems, make sure to restart your browser. Apparently that's what's working right now for
log in, log out.
Having audio problems. But thank God I'm not having execution problems today. Nice little win here.
All right, guys, a couple more details on this deal. So PEC and iSun Energy is the company being acquired by PEC. So the actual company is going to change its name to iSun Energy and will trade then on the NASDAQ under ISUN once this deal is completed. There's a few products they're talking about that are already being manufactured and already ready, I guess, for distribution. So it sounds like pretty much a done deal. PEC and iSun becoming iSun Energy to trade on the NASDAQ. It's going to be a busy day. We'll jump into the next one, also a Chinese company, XPeng. Guys, we had XPEV, we had Li Auto, we had NEO, all moving to the upside yesterday on positive, better than expected, in fact. Both monthly, quarterly, and full-year delivery numbers. XPeng was among the leaders of that group yesterday and is higher again today.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing we should probably say before, because we mentioned a couple of Chinese names here, there has been sort of a reversal on the delisting of those Chinese telecoms. That is not happening now. So all three are going to remain listed on the NYSE. There might be some positive headwinds going through some other related names today, but we already sort of mentioned this about XPeng selling off You get the news, you get the nice little bump to the upside. Not quite as good as I think a NEO on the break to the upside. I was too early in trying to short it, and then probably should have had something when it retook the prices that I liked. That 45 area certainly was a good level. It just was not worth trading at 930. You just had to be patient and wait for it again. So I'm gonna still like that same price. If we get any kind of strength in here, I'll probably look to see if I can play that 45 to the sell side. We're only down 1%, so it's not like it's a gigantic reversal. And ultimately, that's a bit of a healthy thing, like we always talk about. If you actually believe in any of these, then you kind of want them to sell off every now and then, especially on these spikes up to these key levels. And the other thing about XPeng, just going back to the daily chart here, it's just not nearly as, I suppose, robust in terms of breaking back out like a NEO has. So if I'm going to pick one that, ultimately, NEO to the long side, that's fine. We've talked about that to death. I'm going to pick one that I'm going to be able to beat up on in this little channel here. I just prefer the short on this particular name. And I think as long as we stay below that 50 price or, sort of do not test that 50, I'm going to like the shot at 45 for the rollover today. Probably should have been more patient with it yesterday. Today, I'm going to basically take it only the way I want it and not at 930 necessarily.
I did want to give a big shout out to those of you in the chat that are bringing this to my attention there, and you're welcome again for this. We just put this up on our site on Twitter. I just reviewed Fubo, right? And I said that, you could take it long breaking through this 27 level that we had yesterday. And those of you that did, congratulations, because there it is, man. They just came out with some revenue numbers. 27 break there, rips to 28.80. So that's another 10% for you guys there on Fubo. I hope you took that. Unfortunately, I didn't, but there goes PEC right now back to highs. So we got a $3 winner here on PEC, and we just discussed with you a couple seconds ago, Fubo breaking 27. So it's not Christmas, but guess what, guys? Merry Christmas to you all out there, because that's 2 for 2 on these big plays. I just wish that I had this one, but it's okay, because right now, guys, wow, 30% and still running goes PEC. This monster not going to stop, guys. It's just one of those days. It's 9 o'clock, and we're already spinning money. So let's get ready for some more fun today, Brendan.
Yeah, here we go, guys. The headline, we can show you it right now. Fubo just announcing their preliminary fourth quarter estimates. The highlights, 94 to 98 million revenue expected. Paid subscribers by year end expected to exceed 545,000. So in the upper range, you can see 500 to 510 was the estimate. So beating that, in fact, as far as paid subscribers for Fubo. So maybe not as all negative for FUBO. Let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the futures, see what levels we need to be aware of heading towards the open this morning. I mean, it's been a choppy start, to say the least, Arun.
I mean, when you get a move like that yesterday, it's going to be one of those days where you go sideways for a bit, and then you will decide after the open, it will either continue on or we will go sideways until later on today, when we do have some news out of the political system later on today. So I'm expecting a couple ranges. So I've got 37.10 on the top end, and I've got 36.65 on the bottom. If we can break either one, we do have a chance. The 37.10, though, I'm not a huge fan of. I do think there's a little bit of overhead there. So even though I have that marked up as a level, when it breaks, it's not going to be one of those, let's get in on the break. It's going to be let it settle in, let it test a little bit. And then as long as we can clear the overhead, it's one of those, you trade it and you see how much interest there is. You do it by feel, for me at least. If there's enough support to actually go through that overhead, then I think I'm going to go ahead and take that long. If not, though, I'm going to be a little bit careful with that level. But for shorts, you can't deny the fact that the 37.10 is there, at least for me. So if I find a proper short, I will look for a short and use the 37.10 as a stop. Same thing with the 36.65 on the long. When you get a move like yesterday, two things are going to happen, right? You're either going to get that huge overnight whiplash that kind of reverses everything, or just go sideways. And when it goes sideways, you have a chance. You really do have a chance to kind of continue the extension. And if it continues the extension, you saw how big the move was. So let's just assume that was half the move. There could be another half coming if we get to the downside. And this is all news dependent at this point. Given where we're at today, and given what kind of news we're expecting out of politics, I think there's a real good chance for some extreme volatility later on in the day. We'll see how the open goes. But for now, we do have two levels, 37.10, 36.65. And if you really want to stretch it, you also have that 36.50 below. But those are the only three levels I'll be working with today. look for some trades in front. If we get a break, depending on where we break, I'll go ahead and take that as well.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in tomorrow morning as we head towards the open. Once again, about 25 minutes to go here before we get these markets open. Guys, little headline just coming through on Amazon. Not a huge move in the pre-market. So far, it is negative, but only just. We had a bit of a slide yesterday for Amazon. But Amazon buying 11 aircraft from Delta Airlines and WestJet from here in Canada to be added to their cargo fleet. So a little headline there for Amazon. It is negative, as I mentioned. Let's go on to NIO. Big mover yesterday was, again, among the strongest in the group after delivery numbers blew away expectations, both on the monthly number, the quarterly number, and even the yearly number for NIO, guys.
Yeah, yesterday was no-brainer for this guy on this stock, and we took out the big stick, and we just made a lot on NIO yesterday. So you can see we played it exactly the way we wanted to. I'll put it down to a 1-minute chart. And again, I don't know about today because the imbalance is not really great, but this is what happened yesterday, exactly what we called. I mean, I can maybe zoom this up. It was such a big move that doesn't look like that dramatic yesterday, but here's the move off the open. We actually got long right here, 50.85. So we were about basically a couple pennies away from the bottom yesterday on NIO, and then we punched the long through 51.50. And then you guys that were here yesterday saw what wound up happening to NIO all the way up, and we took a monster winner. We were long 50.85, then again 51.50, and just took this one all the way to the upside. NIO was down yesterday in the pre-market, similar to what it is now. But I'm feeling like it didn't hold yesterday. So if we call up the 3-minute chart, you can see what happened yesterday afternoon. And again, comes all the way back and almost, it gets to 51.60. That's a little ways away from where we were long. We were long 50.80, but it does pull back. And then it kind of closes near the highs of the day, which is very, very promising to me, $54. But then today, look what's happening again today. We come in and we're bouncing off those exact same levels. So we had 51.50 there, yesterday's high. That's the break that we had. Then we reloaded down here at 51.50 before this one breaks to the higher side. Again, PEC still $3 in the money. And then we come down here again today and test 51.50. So yeah, 51.50, why not? We could try that level. I'm still nervous about the S&P. I know this is the NASDAQ, the S&P basically mirroring this right now. So as I look, I'm a little nervous that the futures could fall here and that $50 is pretty high right now for NIO. But where are people going to put their money? The battery day, NIO day coming up on the 9th. So a couple more days coming up. And does NIO take out $60 before then? Probably, or it's close enough to it. We are still pretty high in this name. So I still think that we can go long on NIO. So I'm going to try to put some bids downside 51.50 or so. See if we can't hold this 51. The ultimate low, like 50.50. If we break 50.50, then we'll give up the ghost and get out of there for NIO. But I think we still buy dips on this name and then hopefully get accelerated to the upside. But it's a very, very dangerous game buying dips on NIO because we've seen it just, the floodgates get open and it just continues to sell off. Some of you asking for the imbalance locator. Here it is. See, yesterday we had NIO 2 million something, right? So although it's 9:07, 23 minutes to go, it's paired off. So you go 400 plus 300. So let's call it 750 or so in there. And we've paired off already. So not much happening. Fubo getting ramped up there. That 27 break was fantastic. More orders coming in on Fubo, and they can't even pair them off. So watch out for this one to go. But NIO, yeah, why not? There really is no pre-market top here. I'm not going to get super excited about a 52.50 break. We did that yesterday with 51.50. That's not super exciting to me. I'd actually rather wait until this 53 comes into play. So NIO might not. I don't mean to tell you guys that I won't be trading it, but it's definitely not as enticing on a chart to me as it was yesterday.
One of the things I'm looking at obviously at XPeng, and we talked about that one through hopefully a ramp to that 45 price. The one thing I would say is, Sean talked about the 9th. It would feel like you can still buy in front of that, and if this was the same setup and it was a day before, so we're talking about the 8th. I would actually be thinking of shorting 51.50, but I already want to short XPeng, and I think I came into yesterday thinking, oh man, I like the setup for an XPeng short. I like the setup for a NIO long, and I ended up not getting both of them. I should have just focused on one, and then I would have gone back over to maybe XPeng. So if I stay away from NIO, it's likely because I want to be in that XPeng short off at the open if we can catch something in front of 45. You know what? I'm gonna quickly jump over to BNGO because I mentioned this in the chat. This could be the day today. that it sold off. Now, I did get a partial fill when that 30 broke, literally no shares. I was able to catch on the way down, so I just sort of took them out because there was no point even holding on to them, looking to see if it could catch any kind of a bounce here, and I might as well go ahead and cancel that order. This is just like, it's sort of been coming on BNGO, and it looks like today is the day. 5 even's about to break. If it gives any kind of a push back into that 520 to 530 range, I love those short price. I'll definitely take those if I get a shot at it. But like I said, I like the 530. I just couldn't get it. I got literally a partial fill. So the liquidity was really good. I'm not sure how I managed to miss my punch there.
All right, guys, let's go to the cannabis stocks. The entire group on watch this morning. I just had a look at a few of them. It's actually ACB that is leading among the gainers, anyways, to the upside. Tilray also very actively traded in the pre-market. Again, the Georgia runoff election today. The results of which could have significant, results and change the way that cannabis is dealt with in the U.S. Joe Biden has been discussing throughout the campaign his plans for legalization. If they end up with a majority in the Senate, that is a definite possibility, guys. So here we go. Take your pick. All of them looking pretty good.
I mean, this is why we recommended GRWG to you guys back in September at $16. And let's check out what GRWG is today here on the NASDAQ. So $39. So we gave this pick to you guys, sort of anticipating that this may happen previously in this market for the marijuana space. So I'm a buyer down here, 15, 16 on GRWG. We're long in our personal accounts in this one. We gave you guys CGC down here as well. I keep talking about it with my father. I got him in that. I wish I got him in GRWG instead of CGC. But downside here, 17, 15, 18, 19, $20 to the upside. That one keeps moving. ACB, though, that's the name that you came with, Brendan. So let's discuss that quickly here. We just have to wait for the charts as we go. Come on, charts, let's go. Not loading. So here we go. Oh, we'll just look at it from here. This is our minute chart here for 3 minutes. You can see what ACB is doing right now. 850 to the break side, up to 950. This is what happened yesterday when we got that news. Brendan dropped it to us. I guess some people woke up and was like, wait a second, maybe they'll turn and they'll get this, be a Democratic sweep there, and that'll be great for marijuana stocks. ACB is just the one that's been basically left for dead. So that's why I think ACB gets a little bit of a bump. But 1.5%. I talked about this in the pre-market or in our pre-show about, I don't know how long ago now, a half hour ago or so, that we don't like ACB too much. We prefer CGC because, again, it's the big dog and everything. And we did see yesterday's high in CGC come into play, 27. So I think that's a possibility. And then you have this little spot right here as well, 2640. So let's take a 2640 break on CGC, or APHA is also another name that we talked about. And again, chart's not changing.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever talk about this when it's worthwhile. Sundial's on 11 million shares. It's not a heck of a lot, but certainly rising tides tend to lift all ships, and Sundial has come up with this news as well. The gap up today, and this has been about 20% in the last couple of days, if you look at the high, and then it's been a sell-off since pre-market. Basically, with almost no turn, right into this afternoon bottom, it got put in at 53. So it's already a decision point here on Sundial, much like BNGO, which I finally got into on the pullback. Just got some 517s there. The 53 level is very much like that 530 on BNGO. Oddly enough, that's exactly 10x. Bit of a coincidence there. So 53 breaks. I'm going to look to see if I can't scalpel short to retrace some of this back into 50 to 51. Otherwise, if we hold that price, then maybe Sundial's in due for a bit of a run here, guys. But my first look is to see if we can't take out this level and just fill almost the entirety of the gap back in on Sundial. If it gets to 50, there might actually be a bit of buying down there, so it could be worth a reversal to the long side. Looks like we will actually want to trade this one today. Although volume, not nearly as good as I would have expected. I thought maybe we'd be at like 20, 30 million already. 11 million is not bad.
We mentioned yesterday the travel group, both airlines and cruise lines, very, very weak on the session yesterday, among the leaders, in fact, to the downside. COVID cases continue to rise globally. The UK, as we mentioned, in their third now official countrywide shutdown. So travel stocks back on watch here, guys. The narrative around this group, in fact, still pretty negative.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. Now, the only positive thing, and I actually want to look at Southwest if I can. I was going to talk about AAL, but the unfortunate aspect of this is you're likely to get a second stimulus package. I almost feel, regardless of what happens tonight, but the betting sites are basically telling you there's a decent chance that that's a likely outcome. So, I mean, if you like one of these names, and Mark talked about this, and he likes Southwest, whether you like Spirit, doesn't really matter. If you get a sell-off, and sort of looking back into this 42 range in particular on this name, it just feels like a decent opportunity to wait and be patient and pick this one up, and then maybe you got to wait a few months or weeks or months before we get the turn, and then you're just sort of patiently waiting for that turnaround. And you got to play some of these names in 2021. It does feel like, especially with the weakness that started out in some of the tech names and some of the high flyers to start out the year, it's gonna be hard to avoid energy in some of the recovery names. For today, I would just look at that trend from yesterday and play into that weakness. If that's going to mean in some of these names, looking at these bottoms, which coincide with yesterday's lows, 44.50, particular on Southwest. You can look at a lot of these different names. They break the bottom. Temporary shorts certainly make sense as well, Sean.
Yeah, I'm logging out. I'm getting out of this version. My stuff's not working here, so take it away, Brendo.
Guys, let's continue along here. We'll definitely have a look at the airlines and the cruise lines throughout the session as we go. Bilibili Incorporated brought this one up about mid-morning yesterday. The Chinese internet company had a big move to the upside yesterday, along with some other Chinese companies, but they plan to raise $2 billion in a Hong Kong secondary listing. They're also talking about some streaming content. So this is an online internet online streaming platform, Bilibili. But yeah, secondary listing for them in Hong Kong, guys.
Yeah, and we just talked about this, the news, of course, that you're not going to have the delisting of those Chinese telecom names, and maybe that would be a positive spin. But a lot of these secondary listings in Hong Kong are certainly happening. I actually thought that there would be a decent shot for a rollover trade. And again, this is just because I looked at this 100 level and what happened to end the year and thought we'd have a real shot at taking this consolidation. But there's like 200,000 shares with 14 minutes to go. Bilibili's just not trading a lot in the pre-market, so there's almost no way you're taking this at 7 o'clock. It's too early for me to get that. If we do come back up and test 98, I think maybe it's going to be worth it. This is a key level here. I think we closed at 94.74, 95 if it can hold up, could be worth a bit of a bounce. But with this liquidity, likely to break it, and then I'd rather play the long on the way back up. I did just get back into BNGO here, guys, bingo. So I talked about that 530 level. It rolls right into 530 and is rolling right out of it because maybe this is the day. And I actually put this one in Twitter. I threw away my morning yesterday being too aggressive and not waiting for the actual rollover in BNGO and trying to anticipate instead of just allowing it to sell off and then joining the party, which is usually the better plan of action. Today, it looks like that is a sell. So quick little 10-cent scalp on some of this position. And then the other one, I haven't had a chance to go over this one, ALRN. Just so you guys can see, I did briefly say that I was short back up here around this $2 range. It's just fallen like an absolute rock. And this is one that was showed all kinds of weakness at 7 o'clock. And I put this in the chat for you guys. At 7 o'clock, when some of these trades start to come in and these gappers cannot hold up, this is the one that's going to be weak. And I know it bounced back heavily off of this 150 bottom, but it then took a couple of shots at it off of this consolidation, off of that previous high at 185. And then when it gave you $2, that was almost too good to be true. It's now 57 pennies in the money, so it's a pretty solid return here on ALRN and showing really no signs of any strength at all. So maybe this one's going all the way back to $1. I think $1.25 is a more reasonable target.
You guys
go to the chip maker. Sean, you good? You're back?
Yeah, I'm back. No,
okay.
I'm back. I was just saying I'm back, and yeah, we're still, the only thing that we have on right now is this PEC. And I did want to say a big congratulations to wrong button, but to everybody that did have that. I see some people yelling on the chat there that they did have this PEC and they got this out. So here again, Fubo getting really ramped up here on the imbalance locator. So you got to watch out for this one breaking through, man. You're now 28.55. We just tweeted out that call through 27. So Fubo getting very, very excited. If you guys are still in that one, hold your shares because Fubo could go again just nuts here off the open with another big bid coming right through. I did want to talk quickly, though, about that Fubo trade because we are coming near yesterday's, some of these levels right now that I think we could just take out and then just start to go. So watch out for 30.50. I mean, I know 30.50 is a while away. It's 28.50, but just watch out. You take out that 30.50, man, you go right to 33. So 30.50 coming into call here on Fubo. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. And then good on everybody that got out of PEC up here. Some people saying they got out at 14. I'm not super heavy in it, so we'll wait. But VWAP down here, 12.50. So that could be a good out for me on PEC, but a great start to the morning for everybody here.
All right, guys, let's talk about the chip makers. We saw big strength yesterday in AMD, Micron as well to the upside. Even that Taiwan semiconductor, TSM, had a big move. Micron back to the upside again this morning in the pre-market. It was Deutsche Bank coming out, Citigroup coming out with a double upgrade and price target increase for Micron. So more strength coming from chip makers today.
Yeah, I'm just getting my stop order ready for PEC. I'm going to hold this one all the way back to flat. So we're just going to see what it wants to do. But okay, here we go. Micron. Okay, wow, I went back in versions and the chart worked. All right, a big upgrade from Citigroup. And look, I mean, it is what it is. I was giving you guys the calls last week about the chip sector going to be on fire. You can get into SMH if you wanted to get a basket of all of them. But here we go. Micron, look at this fall yesterday again. Big move up, and then the market turned itself over starting at about almost right away. But this starts at 10 o'clock. We go all the way down to 74. Today you get that bump. But look at this level right here, 77, guys. That's on there. It's on the sticky note right here. Where is it? 77 with a couple stars. Oh, okay. NEO just dropped down a little bit. We are long into NEO now, but there's a 76.75 right now. I like a 77 break on Micron, and then just watch out. We did have some gathering here, 77.50. It had a problem with 77.75 before breaking that to go to 78.50. So depending on what the market does, we'll see. But here we go, guys. A nice little win already here. Let's take some off if we can get it right now. We are long at 55 on NIO. So a nice little take here on that. I gave you this 50 level downside, so we did start our trade off right now with some NEO, and we are long right now 51, 55, and you guys know the way I trade, so I'm actually offering right now 68. See if we can't scalp, and there it is. So the idea machine just keeps on plugging out, guys. There it is, a nice little 20-cent win. Go NEO, man. Nice little trader. I wasn't expecting to get this, so we actually have a decent amount of shares on right now as NEO. Look, man, the pre-market bandit just continues right now. 51.55, beautiful call upside NEO. We're long right here, guys. A nice little smooth 20-cent win as we punch this one in the face, Brendo.
All right, guys, we'll continue along here. A number of individual names to get to still. I want to talk about QuantumScape. Active again in the pre-market, to the downside again in the pre-market. It fell 40% on the session yesterday. They came out just after the open saying 2025, they may see a profit. That was the first thing. And then they came out aftermarket with a 306 million share offering. So more negativity here for QS.
Yeah, so QS, it's a very similar setup to Fubo, only that that 47.50 level, yesterday's bottom, was breached, and you get this 45 and a pullback. And again, it was more the guessing game. Where is the bottom going to actually be? This actually did have another level right here at 45, which was not breached. And this is sort of holding up here. That's why I kind of going to like this one for a bit of a trade through this. Ignore these little wicks here. You're going to see some dark pool prints go off. This pre-market level is about 49 even. We closed exactly at $50. 50 is going to be an obvious break. To play the long side here and not want to wait for a $2 move is going to likely mean I don't have any trouble taking something around that 47 bottom from yesterday. So if we get any kind of action in front of that, that's one way to get in. The other one is simply just wait for the pre-market high to go, which is essentially right now 49.50. So it's essentially that $50 level where we closed yesterday. But it's been a big fall down, much like Fubo did, and showing some signs of recovering. This one's still in negative territory, however, so you might actually get that break post market open, which I tend to always prefer.
What's talk? Oh, QuantumScape. But yeah, I'm still watching this NEO trade. We just tweeted that out. We got out of already 40%. I mean, I'm not going to not take 20 cents in the pre-market on NEO, so that's good. But we are holding for higher. Look, QuantumScape, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think this story's done. It's just you got to pay down for it now, right? And the reason, whoa, okay, 45. I actually didn't write down any levels for this one from yesterday. Let's go to a 3-minute chart. Look, I love the story. I don't know much about it other than the fact that it's solid-state batteries. I think that makes a lot of sense for the EV space. I think that eventually there'll be a buyout target if that does come to fruition and they're able to make a product that works. Then I think they can get bought out. I talked about their deal with Volkswagen before, and obviously that I didn't hear anything about that. They do have an offering that came to market, and so it looks like it was bought up pretty good there. 46 held, so that was a good level there to play off of today. And then really, man, it's it's bombs away on this one. I think if you can get above 52.50, then I do look for an increase in this share price. So I like a long through 52.50 right here. The bottom yesterday before breaking, and then we got back to it right there. So I'm going to put an order in to go long through 52.50 on QuantumScape and just hope that this little move down is overdone. But no profitability for 2025. So I think that's what obviously scared people down. I mean, if you guys are new to this game or new to the show, this is what we're talking about. 140 all the way to the downside. I did see someone say, what does it mean when we're long and what does it mean while we're short? Well, you can see at the bottom there, I own now PEC and NEO at those bottom prices, and NEO's short the other two at those prices. So that's just what it means. And then as you see here, let me just go over to NEO, for example, to show you, we've taken out our profits. So green is me getting in, and then red are the sells. And if you ever see a purple arrow, that's going to be a short sell. So that's the same on both of us. So I like QuantumScape, and that was 52. Where is it? 52.50. There it is. 52.50 right here, guys, to go long. I'm going to put that order in right now. I don't know if we get there, but if we do, I like it.
All right, guys, let's talk about Alibaba next. We mentioned it the past couple of days, big move to the downside. There's been a number of news headlines surrounding Alibaba. The latest, not as major or prominent, but they came out and said they're going to shut down their music streaming service as of February 5th. So Alibaba, not a huge move in the pre-market here, down about 0.3%. Decent volume once again, though, today.
Yeah, it's basically flat. I mean, the whole "Where's Jack Ma" thing is certainly playing around here. And maybe weighing on the stock a little bit. You would have thought that there would be. My first note when I came in and read the news on the reversal of the delisting was, okay, possible positive note for some of these other names, and maybe there'll be some headwinds here. It's just nothing doing for Alibaba. So if it can hold 225, that could be good. But I literally anticipated that we'd be testing 230 off of the open, and because that hasn't happened, I don't want to necessarily punch long in the midst of like a $2 pre-market run. So as much as I like that 230 break, I'm going to pull back on that one. I'm going to be playing over an XPeng instead. I will probably come back to Alibaba a little bit later on in the session just to see what we are doing here. But it's a bit of a disappointment to not see it in positive territory after that reversal on it. And again, it's nothing specifically related to Alibaba itself, but certainly what I thought would give some positive headwinds to this Chinese name.
Yeah, Alibaba, we can call it up. We just got out some more NEO there at 75. So, I mean, this is a 22-cent winner right now for NEO off of this beautiful long. You may not get a better long today, although we do know that it crashes at the open. So you can watch out for that. We have a $2 winner right now on PEC as well. So everything rocking and rolling, and we're going to start the day off already, I don't know, maybe hitting our goal before the market even opens. And we talked about adjusting our goal, so we'll do that. So we'll wait to see if we can hit that today. But look, Alibaba today, they were never one of the companies that was going to get delisted anyways, but it is good news. Like Neil mentioned there, obviously, the better news it is for the U.S. stock market that they have some of these legit Chinese names back in there. So yeah, 228.50, guys. Let's take that out. We're going to go long through 228.50. We have a beautiful bottom here, 227 and change. You could also take the other side of it and go short here through 227. Look at the market, though. We are starting to get some steam now. Yes, NEO. Go, NEO. A nice little break here, hopefully, hoping that we can get to 52. We just got a little high there. We broke through 80, so we got excited, but now NEO's stopping. So yeah, Alibaba, PEC in the money. Wow, what a big day here. I know Neil has some good shorts, and we have some nice longs now. 228.50 on Alibaba. Quick look before we throw back to Brendan on the imbalance locator. This is how we do it, guys. Fubo getting up there. But watch out. This often does happen when you get a big imbalance locator. Sometimes the run happens early because they can see the orders go in, and then it pairs off a bit. So watch out. You may have a better chance to buy Fubo cheap. But then look at Neil, man. What the hell? I'm long, and right now we have a 30... sorry, I'm in the money 30 cents, but we have a 480,000 share imbalance to the downside. Let's pair some more NEO off right now. 86s, hell yeah, Brendan. We'll just start smoking it up right now as we are nicely 40 cents in the money on NEO and $2 in the money on PEC. Holy shoot! What just happened to Alibaba? They found Jack Ma, maybe.
Alibaba, we thought maybe this could happen.
Yeah, damn it, and I didn't have time.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I didn't have time to put that order in, 228.50. I'm just kidding there. I don't know what happened there, but there goes Alibaba. through that 228.50 level. We just talked about it, but hopefully you got your orders in faster than I did, because I'm not long. 228.50. There's the break. Alibaba, Jack Ma, what up?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there. We only have like just under a minute to go, but Sean mentioned Alibaba getting that spike, and here comes that 230. Look, if it pulls back, I mean, of course you got to take that 227 area and a pullback. If you liked the dip before, how do you not like it now? I know we were going to talk about BNGO. It went all the way up to 550 before turning. I took a hit and then got. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did I just get all flat accidentally in that? Yeah, of course, that's exactly what happened. I meant to take some profit out half, and I just got it all out on these shorts here at 550, so I'll have to find a way to get back into it. Wow, a lot is happening here. We'll find out what the heck just happened to Alibaba. But it is time to ring the bell. Second trading day of the year. It's already off to a good start. Miss V, and we'll talk about this, Lucas. You're not off the hook yet. She has a smile on her face despite Russia losing yesterday to Canada as expected. 3, 2, and 1. This market is open. Oh, those are nice highs. Valeria should probably be playing a little bit of a basketball there. And did I just see that right? BNGO is yeah. I just talked about accidentally covering all of my short, watching Alibaba there, and BNGO just cratered through $5. It is dying. Is there an offering on this thing? Is this crazy, Brennan?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're sorry. I was long micro. I thought we were going to Brendan there. Right now, guys, we got Alibaba 228.50. So a nice long there. We take that exact long that we wanted. So we take that one. Let's see what happens now to Alibaba to the high side. NEO, guys. Boom, we did it again on NEO. To the moon, guys. What a great long this was. Already in the money now, 80 cents on NEO going upside. PEC coming back to life. Micron, we're long 76.20 right now off this bottom. Let's see what happens to 76.75 here. If we can take that out, yeah, hell yeah. Bottom on Micron, maybe 76, 75.80 maybe on Micron. But I'm liking this long right here. Let's just keep going on this upgrade. 76.75, the next long. Alibaba, hells to the yeah. Dollar winner already on that one. So to say that we're on fire going into the second day of the month would not be a lie. Goal reached already. I hate saying that, but we did. Look at what we're doing here. NEO, Baba, PEC, everything. PEC now in the money. We're just going crazy right now, Neil. $2 winner for Alibaba. Hell to the yeah. You love this show or what? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, I don't know what just happened in BNGO, but I talked about how it just went crazy. I was able to get some shares here below $5, $4.91. It's already heading down to like a $4.70 price. That was just absolutely insane off of the open. I don't know if it's an offering. If it was, we'll have a look at that in a quick second. I didn't have a chance to check the news because it was falling so fast. Alibaba there, I mean, it's a fantastic look. And that 230 I talked about, there you go, you can see this here. I talked about giving you like 227, 228's the price, and now it's a 230 breakout trade, which if that's the only trade to be had, that's what I'm going to try to take here. It's 230. If I can defend that price at least a little bit, I'll take a quick look there. But Brendan, do you have any news?
Yeah, I sat down this morning and said this has to be an offering on BNGO. It wasn't in the pre-market. No offering now either, guys. Just very, very weak for Bio Nano so far.
Okay, so we take a Micron here. NEO, for some reason, just falling down. Do I even have an out here? We've averaged into NEO. It's fine, but we're taking some more long here on NIO. Look at Alibaba, $2+ in the money. So, yeah, that's a banger for all of you guys as well. But NEO, now trying to make that move back up. We did average into this price. We got to wait out for a 50 break. I hope we have that order in. We don't, so we got to wait out for this one. A 50 break on NEO, we're going to get out. But right now, we are long, 51.10. Big trade coming on for us right here on NEO, we hope, guys.
Yeah, and XPeng, I mean, there is a roll to 45. I don't know, I'm distracted by Alibaba and get away from the one trade. This is exactly what I said, guys. Buy into 45, turn, cash to sell. 44.99 is literally the opening wick high. So it's going to happen to you. I did not see that Alibaba coming.
Look at Alibaba.
Of course, it's going to catch you off by guard. But 43 is the low here on XPeng. If it does hold that price, I'd look for a pullback into 44 to be able to play that level. I'm loading back into BNGO. 530 was the level before. It's at 515. I think I can play off that same one again.
Yeah, okay. No, actually, I do have a script in for NEO. If we get out here about 50-50 or so to get out. But yeah, what a big monster trade. Look at Alibaba, guys. I gave you this 228.50. Someone was listening and pounded this to the upside, right? Someone got long off this call, 228.50. Bang that to the upside, guys. Alibaba, look at this trade, guys. We're long, 228.51. Out. $3 in the money. Let's go. NEO still rocking and rolling. Man, this is a big day for your boy again, guys. What up, B?
Yeah, nothing as far as headlines on Alibaba that I can see at this point, but this one as well, guys. Bilibili now 5%, early strength from 95. Just tagged $100 for Bilibili.
Yeah, wow. That we did have Bilibili on target there. Oh, okay, so we got to watch out now because we're still monstrous. Everything is great. Alibaba now $4 in the money as we spin that round, but we got to watch out for Micron. We did take a 76 break. Sorry, a 77 break. We're able to get the best out at 76, but an average in, bang, bang, bang. So my price is going to look bad, but it's all good there. Neo does break the bottom there. I don't know what happened. Oh, big break and then came right back. So now we got to watch out for Neo. We're down on Neo on the day, but it's not a big trade, so we'll have to wait to see that. But I don't know. We got out there at 50-50 break. Bad little call there. I thought we were going to get out 50 even. More work to be done on Neo, but we are out. So watch out now. 51.50 backside on Neo. I like a 51.50 break high.
Yeah, I just reloaded over here on BNGO. We talked about that 530 level. Look, it doesn't quite get there. We talked about the 30. We liked it, but it turned at 15. So I ended up with a half my position. I would have waited for a little bit better. A bit of a break there at 43 on XPeng. It broke that low of the day. I got 93, so not a lot of slippage. New position alert for me. I did get that short, but it is still the fall off in BNGO. Today might be the day. That's what we said, and it looks like that is going to be true. It's coming back in forth rather nicely. BTBT, and I take a quick little breath here, big time bounce off of 25. Here's the problem. Like 25 as a dip, it did not hold even a bit off of the open. Now it's just absolutely breaking out. It just got through this consolidation level, 26.20 here in the pre-market, and is heading through 27 now. Keep things in perspective. It has not even taken, $30 is going to be a key level. You go back into earlier on in the pre-market. If it gets there, maybe worth a bit of a roll here, but BTBT, it just didn't give you a shot at that 25 unless you had the order to come on the way back upside. That was the level I liked, but it broke by $1.50, so that's not a hold at all, Brendan.
Just had an alert go off, guys, on this one. QuantumScape just broke 52 there on huge volume, but look at this, right back down to 51. So very volatile for QS so far, but up 2%, guys.
Thanks, Brendan. We'll give hot dogs to everybody. We're into QS there. That was that level that we called, 52.50. So we get into there. Now we got to hold it, man. It does resist that 52.50 level. We talked about getting into that one based on this bottom, based on that level. So it does look right here as well, 52.50, 52.50. So let's wait to see QuantumScape. We're going to get out at 48 break. So we're going to hold this one quite a bit. But let's go, as I hear in the background, because, yeah, man, it's just a big day here for me on Alibaba. 228, guys, 228.50. We gave that one to you in the morning, and here it comes again, guys. A big trade alert on Alibaba, 228.50. We are in the money now, guys. How many dollars? $6. So spin it. I hope you guys have this with us. A $6 winner right now on Alibaba. A $2 winner on PEC. A 40-cent winner on Micron. Talking about Micron, 76.20 long. We're busting out to the upside. What a monster day for us already. I'm not going to say goal hit, but goal hit. Let's go, Bren.
BNGO halted, guys. Downside halt here through 440. Stacked up on the offer, and they had to halt it. But 40% now for BNGO. So just falling all over itself, guys.
Right before that happened, I actually saw it was about to halt. I got some shares out there at 450. It's just, like Brendan said, it cannot get out of its own way. XPeng did continue its slide to the downside. It is actually on the lows right now. I did quickly scalp some out here at 42.50. You talk about a 43 break, that quarters and 50 mark. So I did take some out already. I'm looking for 42. See if that holds up. We'll take the buck. Again, this was not the short that I wanted as much, but the bottom break... instead of getting it in the pre-market or a little bit too early yesterday, waited for this one to have a bit of a failure and a rollover, and that seems to have worked a little bit better here on XPeng. Just to come right back over to one other name here. If I can, I did mention a sundial, if very, very briefly, as a reason to possibly sell it into 50, but you can't have every single one of these. Clearly, things are moving hectically off of the open, but it did come right down to that 51 level. Could be some buying at 50, but the sell-off in this one kind of seemed like that was sort of an easy pickings given the weakness it had in the pre-market.
Yeah, easy pickings, that's for damn sure. And screw you, Neo, honestly, man. This got us out $1 ago at the bottom, 51.50. 50.50 there. We had this call. We just were not patient with it. It does come back down and we get long again. So there we go. Another cash on Neo, man. We're monstrous, man. The pins have lined up. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 right now, but we do have QS pending. So we need that one to go. It does come back up to 52. Let's go, QS, man. man. What a monster day here. I hope you're enjoying this. NEO right now, 26 cents in the money. We actually destroy NEO, but this was a problem. We get out there, but now look at this, 51.50. We give you that one break. And Brendan, here goes NEO again, man. Another 40 cents into the money, man. What a fun month. What a fun day. What a fun job. Let's go.
2 days into the month, already a fun month. I love it. PDD, guys, another one. Chinese strength all over the place. Pinduoduo, 7%. Just broke 178 on a volume spike. Watch this level up here, all-time highs, 183, guys.
And back to Billy, if I can for a second. 100 on a dime was a turnaround. Obviously, you're not gonna play too many of these at once because the volatility is big and the liquidity is tiny on Billy. But if we do come back, I'll take my shot at it the second time through. You can't like it as much the second time because everyone can see the turn at $1. It's at 99 right now, so if I can get a price in the 99.50 to 60 range, that's what I'll be looking for. Thank you very much, Miss V. And no, Lucas, you're not off the hook. I'm still going to tell them all about how you swindled Miss V a little bit later on in the show. But Billy, I'm looking to play off that 100 level to the south side. Now, if it breaks through, that's definitely a reversal to the long, given the positive news that I think is coming through in the overall space, not just with them, but some of these Chinese companies I thought should have had some positive headwinds today. It looks like that's exactly what's happening.
So guys, $6 in the money on Alibaba. Maybe that's worth taking, eh? What do you guys think? Yeah, 234 break, possibly coming back to the downside now. We don't want to give it all up, so 233.50 or so. Let's get out. Yeah, 233 break, 233. Yeah, let's go 233. So this little wick down here, 232.88. We'll get out if that does happen. But look at Micron, man. I mean, we're just monsters today. Thank you for all of the love in the chat as the money just, falling down. Micron, a big buy through 77 for me. A big buy through the high of the day. And then we picked that bottom like a champ there on that one. Really happy with the way this is all pending out. The only thing we have to worry about now is QS, but give it to us, Brendo.
Another one from the volume list. This one popped up yesterday. Check Cap, a little tiny biotech from Israel. It's about a micro cap, in fact, even 21 million on the market cap, 275. A bit of a level in the pre-market. Just tested that on volume, got rejected. So 80% again today for Check, guys.
Wow, that's very strong. Reversal in Billy. It just got through that 100 level, but I said, wow, that's strong because 20 sets are 275 here, already just breaking and testing through the top. And I'm seeing all kinds of buy action on the tape, guys. I like this one. If we take this out and get to like a $3 range, maybe it's going to slow down at that price. But for me, I see this and I like the strength. If we can play back above this pre-market high, that's where I'd like to get in. It's 73, but 75 will do rather nicely as well. So if we get back above that price, I like it. I'm probably going to have a look at a 230 consolidation if it does come back in. Check on the radar for 2 days in a row now, it seems.
I did want to, someone said that it's not possible for Sean to be trading real money and do this kind of a show, right? But guess what? It is possible because we are trading real money. We're here. We got these trades in and we continue to crush it. So thank you for the compliment, whoever that. I think the guy's name was Sean as well. So yeah, you look. You're right. I mean, this is why we do it. This is why we'll continue to come back for you every single day. And you want to talk about like what we're doing here. Alibaba, $7 now in the money, Alibaba, guys. Micron, 50 cents now in the, I mean, Micron is really $1.50 in the money from this very bottom. So you're welcome on that one. NEO, bang, all these buy, and then we're at the day's high right now on NEO. So that's enough said about that one. Oh, and Sean maybe doesn't trade these micro cap stocks. Wrong. Here we go, bang that on PEC. Right now, big win on PEC to start the day. And then the only stock that's putting me to sleep a little bit here because it's not moving, but it's an exciting one for sure, is QS. We do take that break. We are willing to hold this one. We've had such a monster day last couple days. 3 negative days in December, 4 negative days in November. And then right now today, ripping it. We destroyed yesterday. So we're going to give this one a little bit of room. But I was going to give it back to 48. Not sure now. As Micron, Neil, bang. The money, guys, everything just keeps coming in. I'm going to take a break. So it's going to be Hydration Nation time for me. But we got to refresh here as Micron ripping.
BNGO just reopened and caught a bit of a bid here, but the first turn we see happens to be right now. I'm going to play it. It just got to 475. Now, again, I'm just playing the short side. We thought today was going to be the day, and certainly you can see that being true. So I'm going to continue to scalp this one as long as it shows some weakness. I do have this little top that it just made at 480. I'm not going to give it past that. I had a few shares left from our original short at 515. But again, eventually these things find a bit of a bottom, so a tighter stop here. I was giving it all kinds of room earlier. There's just no need to do that after the halt and then pop back to the upside. Billy comes right back in and sort of stops me out the other way. Again, liquidity is just a bit of a pain in the butt on that one. If we do get a break at 480 here, which is possible on BNGO, I'm going to look up to VWAP, that same level at 530 as well. So I'm talking 510 to 530 for another reentry if we do get a shot at this. It hasn't happened yet, but there it goes. I just got quickly in and out, so it's going to be a scalp session here, I think. At least that's my guess on BNGO until we get a test of one of these levels at 510 or 520. I still do have that XPeng, guys. It did come back above 530. Sorry, $43. It just tested VWAP here at $43.50. If we do get some consolidation, I'll play one more time into the weakness of this name. If it rolls over, I'll have $43.50 or VWAP as my area stop on XPeng. I did scalp some out for 50 cents. Not to play with house money, but I like the short better than I did a little bit yesterday. But if we get above that 50 to 60 level, all bets are off. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another Chinese name, guys. Mentioned Chinese strength. Don't sleep on JD.com. Just went from 88 to 91.5. Also approaching 6% is JD, guys.
Yeah, JD, not to confuse it with Jack Daniels. Okay, we're really just crushing this day, guys. It just keeps getting better, and better. As Alibaba, I mean, I said I wouldn't do it today, and I wouldn't say that we hit our goal, so I'm not going to say it, but Superman has been in the building for a while on this stock. Look at this call. I got to put this up on Twitter. Follow on Twitter. I'll put it in the chat as well if you guys want to. I'm going to put this name up there to give you guys that look, and this is why, man. We loved Alibaba on this break there, right there from yesterday, and we take it. It goes up. We put our bid there. We wait very, very patiently. $7 winner now on Alibaba, and we're just rocking. Like, if QS ever got going, guys, then honestly, this day would just be parabolically better than yesterday as we just continue to keep riding it, man. What a monster day here on the show. Thank you for joining. Let's see how many people we even have watching right now. Yes, sir. 10-1 again. 10-1. Turn this guy blue right now, Valeria. Let's give them hell because we need to get these likes going. 11. We got to get to 11,000 first of all. But 1.6K, guys, hit the like. I mean, do I have to review the trades again? There's a lot of fraudsters out there, guys. These are real trades that I'm taking. Like, let's go. Neo here, 80 cents in the money. Neo at day's high. Bang, 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 all over the place. Peck, a $1 winner right here. Neo, $1 winner. Micron, monster trade. What else do they want, Valeria? $7.50 winner right now for Alibaba. Where is Jack Ma, Valeria? Tell us.
I have no idea, but I know, guys, that we really need your support. So please spend just 1 second of your time and hit thumbs up. They're absolutely free. Back to you, Sean.
Yeah, buddy. Let's keep going. Good little number there. 2.1K. We'll get to 3K very, very soon. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of everybody to hit that like button. I mean, we do the show for free. We give you these trade ideas. And look, like you say, you know what, Sean? There's no way my platform can go as fast as this. There's no way I can execute like you do. But that doesn't matter. That's the point. Is that's why I'm trying to give you guys these levels. Like, all of my trades are like one and done, man. We get in and then we wait. And look at this move. Big time move to the upside. Unfortunately, we only have that 20% left on Alibaba, but an $8 winner. Let's go. Yeah, Jim Lee, no heart attack. I'm the secret weapon. That's fine. But there will be no heart attacks coming. And here we go, guys. QuantumScape, almost heart attack time with QuantumScape right now. Thank you for that super chat. Byron, where are you, Jack Ma? It doesn't matter where you are because Byron is in the building right now. Byron with that $100. Thank you so much for that. We'll get Valeria. There you go, Valeria. You can pay off Lucas with that right now. We'll take that out of that $100 right there. But we're going, guys. We are 10 for 10 and rocking right now. Don't worry, Jim Lee. Your boy's going to come back every day. Let's go, Brendo.
Another little one, guys. SYN popped up in the pre-market. A little bit of a late headline here. 9 o'clock, this one came out. Why Biologics in a license agreement with a 3D Medicines for T-cell bispecific engager. So one of their products getting a license agreement. SYN, 150%. Very strong, guys.
Yeah, very strong indeed, guys. So obviously, Jack Ma is still missing, and we'll talk about that trade in depth, I think, later on in the session, because it's definitely going to be a dandy one. And it supersedes all things at 9:30, and that's exactly what you have to do. CHEK, we did mention that one just a couple of seconds ago. It did burn up to that $3 range. It did give finally a pullback, so I was able to get a bit of a dip buy into this. The strength is still there. However, if we get below 250, I'm not going to go back into the long side of this trade. Below that 250 mark, I'm going to start trying to short it. But $3 could still be a bit of a breakout. And I'm going to buy dips in the VWAP every chance I get. The first one where there is in front of 60, I'll try it again in front of 250. But sort of one for one. The name that Brendan just mentioned, CHEK. We mentioned Alibaba. I'm going to go quickly over Billy. It does actually come back in, guys. So that 100 level, not the breakout that I would have liked. I guess I should have stuck with the short, but I'm going to walk away from this one. The best trade for me on this was closer to that 10:30 to 11 o'clock hour. That's what I'm going to anticipate here.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out, man. At TraderTV.live. What's up, Brendan, as I get this out on Twitter, guys?
That came up yesterday, guys. Bitcoin related, NCTY, I should say cryptocurrency related. The 9 NCTY back to the upside 11% here. Better check out Bitcoin, see if it's going as well. 760 ended up being a level yesterday for NCTY. Guys.
All right. Okay, so we just got that out now. Now we're up 4% on BABA. My 222 buy the other day, obviously. Look at QuantumScape. Bang! Guys, this is just going, man. We are barbecuing up the profits. We gave you QS, man. We gave you 2 at 52.50. It's at 53 and change. We did take some out of QuantumScape. Like, the day was so big, I was happy to get some out for flat. So we do get some out at 51 there. That's a loss. But now we go to the upside. Wow, it touches 54 there, giving us $1.50 in the money. Wow, big time trade there on QS, guys. Keep going. MU, NEO, 70 cents. PEC bouncing around now. But right now, yeah, guys, QS, big time win. Touches 54. Some resistance up there. I think we can probably get some out now, 54 and change, if we do retest that again. I don't know if we do, but wow, what a monster day for us, man. Maybe I will have a heart attack at some point. What's up, Brendo?
If you want a little one in the semi group, this one just popping up, guys. SM through $7 there on a monster volume spike. $7 just got broken, 11% for SM in New York.
Last one you mentioned there, that SYN, I just had to remind myself that it's on the Amex, of course. I'm like, why can't I pull this one up? It's coming back in now. We just had the same sort of idea here on check. It's obviously been very strong. You had this pre-market high at 118. You got VWAP there. So if we get any kind of a bit of a turn, I'm going to try the long in front of 115. I do see a bit of size in level 2, but it's nothing crazy. I need to see just any bit of a bounce, and then we're going to look to see if we can't get the long in front of this level. Quickly take a scalp there, but SYN looking like it might not be as strong as check, which is holding up at that 265. To go back to BNGO, I actually, for whatever reason, didn't get out of my entire position. I punched out of everything except for my math is terrible. So ignore the fact that I actually still have some 470s here. I actually don't like it until it breaks below this pre-halt price 475, and that's where I look to dip back in. It's in this range, and I don't love it. 510 to 470, forget about that. If it breaks out of it, that's where you want to play party here in BNGO. Check, it looks like I'll get that long before I get that SYN short. That 265 certainly holding, so I'll try to play that by the dip. One more time and check. 1 for 1. Let's try to keep scalping. Go for two for two, guys.
Okay. Yeah, Brendo, go.
Not officially earnings season yet, guys, but this one, Bed Bath & Beyond, scheduled to release earnings on Thursday this week. Nice move here, 5.5%. This was strong initially yesterday, but faded off throughout the day. But 19 coming into play here for BBBY.
Man, I love Bed Bath & Beyond, and I know my wife is watching, so thank God the stores are closed. We can't spend all this money on Bed Bath & Beyond here, but we do like that store as we go in my house anyways. Nice little spot. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's talk more about Micron here. We did pick that bottom up, 76.20, like hells to the yeah. This is on our watch list, guys. We pump this out to you guys every single day. Stocks that are on watch, man. Micron, about as easy as it goes. I gave you the semis the other day as well as a potential long. Look at PEC right now as well. So we still have Micron at 50 cents in the money. Oh yeah, let's review our Alibaba. How about that, guys? Alibaba right now, Neil said that we're going to review this. Yeah, $8, $9 winner right now of Alibaba on a level given to everybody that absolutely everybody could have had there. So really proud of this trade and really happy that our viewers can have this one with us. We're going to wait on this 236 or so here to get out. I mean, I'm going to give this a little bit more upside, 237.25, and we can keep going. Again, we're monstrous today. We haven't even done any damage on our normal stocks like Palantir or CCL or anything like that, man. Today, it's a mix, right? You got the big cap Alibaba. You got Micron on news. You got NEO absolutely destroyed me down here, but we make that all back on that play as well. Then you got a micro cap that no one's even heard of, PEC. We crushed PEC as well to the upside. That was a $3 winner on an $11 name. Hello. And then QuantumScape right now gets back to 53.50, but I'm going to give this one a little bit of room. We we did call this one to the upside. Unfortunately, my price was a little too outrageous, I guess. We took the very top. It does go $2.50 or $1.50 in the money, but we didn't take it. So right now, some of the stocks coming back down, but not really. Peck, $2 and screaming to the upside.
Yeah, and when you talk about this, we should probably go back to the market just for a quick second here, just so you guys can see the NASDAQ breaking through this sort of I don't know, you call it the overnight high here at 1270. So Arun went through his levels, but the NASDAQ not even testing those lows. We're just bouncing up here. We're not at a 1% yet, but it seems like it's almost inevitable that we get there, which is the only reason why I want to check quickly back in on Apple. I know we're going to cover the names that are moving. And that goes without saying. There was no dip to be had in Apple, so obviously that entry not going to be there. 131. Now, I liked it at 127. You're just not going to get it. We're already up $4 from here on Apple. Sorry, $3 here on Apple. Overall market bouncing, but Apple leading the way. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Positive news on this one a couple of days back. I believe it was last Thursday, in fact. JagX, Jaguar Health, 60% again today on volume as well. This is now 52-week highs, guys, for JagX.
We love some JagX up in here as well. I love some QS here as we continue to watch that one. NEO falling down a little bit. We don't have any really plays on NEO. Maybe we can search for another one coming up. I do have some lower bids, though, to catch on NEO. But, yeah, I cannot believe we got wicked out there. That was ridiculous by me to put that trade in there. But then we execute this long again and bang, 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 bang to the upside. These are all longs as well. So NEO's fine. Good. It's going to be a good stock for us. But, again, a missed opportunity because we get out right there and then it rips up about $2 straight from that out. So this day could have been even more monstrous. And you want to talk about monstrous, guys? Look at this Micron chart, like up to $78 right now. MU. We can check out a daily chart on this as well. 80. What is this high from past? 78.75. So let's watch out to see if we can get that high. But right now we're just ripping through 78, man. What a big trade Micron's been for me. $1 on Micron. $8 on BABA, $2 on Peck, guys. And then we're holding this QS now that seems to want to go back down, but we're only holding now 40% as we got out of 60% for very little damage there done as we wait to see if we can blow off the top on Peck. But wow.
You're still in Peck, right?
Yeah, we're long right now, $11 in Peck. So Peck just continues to be a monster. I mean, I was waiting all the way to 10. I'm just going to let this one go.
Yeah, this is sort of my first foray into shorting it. Now, I probably should have had this one or maybe this consolidation, but I'm waiting for the parabolic moves to end there, and I haven't really touched my water in a little bit, so I guess I should do as I say there. When I say parabolic, I'll drink myself. But this rollover, again, it just keeps on making the slight little trend, lower highs all the way through. I definitely want to scalp some out in front of 1250 in VWAP, but I got a 1294 short here. 50s, if it breaks below 12 even, I'll likely have taken 2 legs out already and then try to hold for this 11 bottom. Look, I mean, ultimately, there might be a shot some point to get through that 11, but this was very, very strong. We talked about the reason why the space was going to be, might have some positivity towards it on this day, given what's going on in Georgia today, and it being sort of an EV and a clean energy type play with this deal. So that's why I don't want to hold on for a home run short, but certainly it was worth this one swing. Already scalped out a 40-cent win. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more on Peck. BNGO is all over the place, guys. I was able to get some. It tested 5 even. It was just a hard rejection. I saw an offer there that I did jump into some shares in front of it at 86 and was able to scalp out like 10 cents or so. But that might be all I can get before I'm just losing 10 cents on the other end. So, forget about this range. It could be too boring. Peck, much, much nicer. And I'll go back over to ALRN, which is kind of crazy. That's at $1.27. I didn't think it would go that far that fast, but it looks like maybe 105 is in play here at the absolute bottom. Brendan?
Another little one, guys. Back to biotech land. Zosano Pharma, actually pharmaceutical land, I apologize. ZSAN, 70%. They got an FDA ruling on one of their treatments that they're working on that was favorable in the pre-market. You can see popped up on that. Just tagged $1 again for ZSAN.
All right, does Neil really want to go through 52 again and really get me more money? Okay, so 51.50, we have a 40-cent win here on Neo, and it's looking to break through 52. So I think we got to take some more shares through 52 and then give it just back to VWAP here, 51.66 or 51.80. Let's take a 52 break on Neo. Baba still ripping to the high side, as you guys can see. So everything making that cash right here. As Randy is back in the building, good job there on Tesla, making moves still to the high side, but you got your your 703. Great call on that one. Peck now ripping to the high side as well, guys. So, yeah, we're going to go long on Neo, 52.05 or so, if that does break. So let's take a little long on that. Baba, you already gave you my out, 236. So, again, we have Kevin O'Leary coming on January 15th. I said the 12th before, but it's going to be the 15th for that when he comes through. So we are, what did I just get? Oh, I just got into more Neo there. So yeah, 51.80. There we go. We just took it long through 52. So let's go Neo. Nice little win already.
Yeah, and I just said the ALRN, I'll go back over it. It looks like that 125, I just got some shares out there. I basically have almost nothing left, and at this point, might as well hang on to the last little bit. It's less than 5% of my position. And if it gets to 105, that's great. Otherwise, 125 was sort of that target area that made sense to me. If it turns around here, I'm not buying it, but I will put a trail in at about $1.35 or so just to make sure that we lock in the rest of this profit. Peck is still in the money, but it's bouncing back to the upside. I'm not reloading on that puppy. The same reason why I want to scalp out, maybe get a buck maximum, $1.50. Another reason why I don't want to double down going against this one to the short side.
Close your eyes. I have no other buttons to hit. We got to get some more buttons here because this is just what's happening. Like, we just took this trade. We just took this trade on Neo, guys. Say what's up, a hell yeah. Give a hell yeah there in the chart. 52 break, guys. We took that live with you on the show. It's at 52.50 in 1 minute. So that's a good little trade there. Say a hell yeah if you like that one. As we go, guys, if you're making money with us today, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 7 with QS pending. What up, B?
Guys, IGT, International Gaming Technologies, just popping up on a volume scan. They just got a license for some gaming operations in the state of Nevada. So another one to add to that list, just broke 16, guys.
Yeah, there goes Peck finally rolling over, but it's SYM that's sort of catching my attention. It already had a halt to the downside, so a little bit of weakness has been put into this. It just got to that dollar before bouncing. If this goes back to penny stock status, you know that's going to be a level that I'm going to like, guys. So I'm going to take this if we can get like a 110 to 115, but I'm also going to break into a short below 95 cents, guys. So a couple of ways that we're going to be into this name. I did just get out of the second half of BNGO, the last trade, one and a half of it lost on the second half, so we'll wait for that to settle back down. Peck resisting 12 even. My bid is just in front of it to try to take just shy of $1. My average out overall should be about $1 if I can get the 80-cent win, and then hopefully a little bit deeper to $1.50. But SYN now on the radar if it gets back below that $1, or if I can short 110.
Okay, yeah, so like Neil just mentioned there, we are into Peck. And I'm not super worried, but I think Neil's probably right. It's slowing down a bit right now. So, you know, I've been only long today, but I will go short on this name. I think we probably got to pay for shorts, right, Neil, on this one?
17 cents? 18 cents. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's $13 stock.
Yeah. Okay, so 12.25. Let's get out if that does happen and put this $1.25 in our pocket on Peck. It either goes parabolic or it doesn't. It sort of already has up to 14.50. So, whoa.
Okay. Whoa.
Didn't have my order out, so there we go. All the way back to the downside there. So
halt.
now we got to watch out.
I think it's gonna halt. I'm just kidding. It's gonna halt.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm still in. It probably will halt. Let's just wait to see. I'm fine. It's been a big monster day. Let's go over to Brendan at the big board and we'll watch and see what happens with Peck.
Hey guys, yeah, exciting first 30 minutes. Let's have a look at North American markets here. S&P 500, 0.5% to the upside. Now you can see the Dow 0.4, NASDAQ, tech stocks trying to get back to the lead, trying to get back above that 0.5% mark and stay there. But NASDAQ, both the composite and the 100 leading the way at this point. The Russell, 1.1%. S&P TSX here in Toronto, 0.3% to the upside. If you're joining us down in Brazil, negative day for the BOVESPA, down a full percent. Couple of things from the watch list, guys. There was initial strength with some of the vaccine names today. Moderna got another approval for their vaccine, popping up on that. 113 was kind of a pivot in the pre-market. Got all the way to 115, but just collapsed down to 109. Bit of a support area from yesterday in the afternoon for Moderna. You can have a look at this MRKR as well. Another little one that gave you a great fade off of 250 up here. We're back to 170. Still doing volume, though. That's why I bring it up. Have a look at the volume. Still in play here. 165, 175 for MRKR, guys. And you guys come back to basically just, I mean, here goes QS. So about having a losing stock.
That doesn't happen. It's been a spicy day today, as we say, guys. Up 9. I mean, look where we're long. This is $3 now. So you want winners? I mean, this is $3 on QS. This is $1 plus on Micron right here. We crushed Neo. Alibaba's $9 into the money. So yeah, let's just keep on rocking and rolling. I don't have anything negative to say about today other than maybe we dumped QS a bit early. And then Neo, my good friend, was not a very good friend on that dump, but we did just crushed along again. And this is how you know I'm taking shares, guys. Multiple outs here. Bang, 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 all the way to the upside. That's how I trade. Already 93 fills for us today. And the stock that we gave everybody in the pre-market was this 27 break on Fubo, and 27 broke, and yeah, now Fubo reigning supreme here. High side, 29 was the high on that one, but this is what we have on, man. Micron, $1 in the money, Neo, 40 cents in the money, Peck, 50 cents in the money, and halted, like Neil said, and then now QS, $2 plus in the money on QS. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 7. Oh, including a little bit of money on Bitcoin today, considering that we bought here at 36 and then wind up selling it at 78. Somebody stop me. Let's go.
Yeah, and we probably should mention, it's going fast. Obviously, there's a lot of stocks that are going crazy here, and we talked about multiple halts. If you guys want for reference, just check out like NASDAQ Trader. They do have a halt page here. It's easy to search. You want to make sure when you assume that it's an actual volatility halt that it is one. I got caught last week. Thinking it was a simple volatility halt, didn't double check, and was something based on news. So you can always come here, look at the reason code. Both PEC, SYN when it halted, BNGO, they've all been volatility halts, so no problems there. Speaking of BNGO, it looks like it's trying to roll over again. Parabolic move up. This is why we got out at 5. Did not love that range, so you got to try to stay disciplined. I don't care how much you're up on the stock or how good it's been or how good the short was earlier. When it starts coming back up and the volatility is like this, it's 1, 2, 3 halts. Sorry, 2 halts and maybe working on a third if it takes out this high. 560 still remains a bit of a level here. If it gets through that, I'm liking another halt to the upside. I just finally got into SYN. I talked about that one in front of 115 short at 111, so new position alert there. But watch out BNGO if it breaks through that 550. A couple of things, squeeze and possible halt would be looming if it goes much higher than that.
Yes, and okay, so QS right now 250 in the money and going, and again, I don't really have this is another monster trade for all you guys there, and our day just keeps on getting better, but I'm going to, obviously, as all these positions run for me, I just wish we would have still had them all, because that would have been woo-wee on that. Let's go to a 3-minute chart to see where we can get out of QS QuantumScape. I should have got into my own account on this damn name. That would have been good. Wow, 5650 is another break level here. We are probably going to get to that. So you do see this 5650 from yesterday. Well, I guess 5650 is high. Well, not really. I don't know. 56 is really where we bunched up there. And that's where VWAP was at that time, I guess. Probably a little bit higher than that because of the move. But okay, 5650, 51. So now today we go and we see that 56 coming right in. I mean, this is now $3 officially in the money, guys. Micron just 78.30. We've been tweeting this all out all day. So follow us all on Twitter. I have almost 11,000 followers and get a lot of back and forth. I try to answer everybody. So if you can, guys, follow us on there. And Valeria and I also on Instagram as well. What's up, B?
They actually made a statement, guys, and I speak of Alibaba. They actually came out and said Jack Ma is not missing. He is just laying low in their language. So officially from the company, guys, Alibaba saying Jack Ma is fine, just laying low, guys.
Interesting enough. I mean, so it does apparently matter. Now, look, there is still some tailwinds to come from this. I mean, ultimately, everyone knows about the comments that were made, and certainly being in the crosshairs is still there. 247, just going to throw it out here because you're getting consolidation off the top and a possible secondary push here on Alibaba. And as much as I kind of feel like it's going to be risk-reward time to think about a retracement of VWAP, 247 was the level that Mark had when we had him on. He mentioned that he liked in terms of a resistance point. I'm just going to throw out this 244 to 245 range as a possible secondary turn price. But the consolidation, it's 10 o'clock, a little bit earlier for a bottom pick on a strong name. But if the risk to reward is good, which it would seem, fail break once through 237.50, allowing that to be a bit of a stop. So you get that, not the high of the day, but that 237.50 is your out. Only risking about, depending on where we can get it here, like 50, 30, 40, probably 50 to 60 cents at the most. And then if you get anything even close to that 235 or that 234.50-ish VWAP, the risk reward certainly good enough for me. As much as I liked Alibaba a couple of ways here to the long side, I didn't get it, so it stands out. You can't sit there chasing profits you didn't get. You just take the setups that you like. And this one short is one of those I basically have to have. If we break through the top, I wouldn't touch it short until we got to at least that 244.
Yeah, I'm looking at my outs here. Still a break of 236. So, yeah, we're $9 in the money on Alibaba. Okay, so that's a good trade there. PEC still halted.
Shouldn't it be open already?
US, baby. 56.50 now, Brendan. That's a $4 winner there, Brendo. So a nice little win on QS as now, size at 56. What you gonna do when the size comes after you, Brendan?
Well, QS, man, what a great trade that was. Laser, guys, want to update LIDAR world real quick. LAZR, 4% downside, 2 or 3 days now to the downside. It's trying to test these levels from the daily chart to the downside. So relative weakness coming into play for Laser. I'll flip over to Microvision, MVIS, also 4.5% downside. Just got rejected at 510 for Microvision, guys.
All right, so we just to review, you're going to see QS out now. We take it out as we didn't, there we go, we got longer again on that break. So we did take it out at 56 because we did see that size. It does break 56 and we did get back in. So you're going to see my price now, 56.25. On the break to the upside. So we have to pay 25 cents more to get some more shares on this name. But here we go. It's going to continue to run. So bang, we get out and we get back in and we take some more money on this one. Now a big win again for us on QS. Neo, this day has been incredible. I'm not sure how it is for you over there, but wow, 57 now, breaking again, another dollar on QS. Bang, this is a $7 winner from where we took it, guys. Let's go.
Sorry there, guys. Just checking in. PEC looks like a 10-minute halt. I am going to be on that one when it opens back up. I got the rest of my BOVESPA share short and also just got into BNGO, so a couple of new position alerts here. Every rollover here has been okay, but it was this pre-market level that I liked a little bit better. When it broke that 560, it immediately stalled out at this level at 570. And anytime you have what looks like a possible fail break and I have a level to work with, I'm going to take the short here. BABA's back to flat. It still has not gone anywhere. It's still consolidating at that high. I have the consolidation. VWAP would be the ultimate target. I would be all flat if BABA got there. I think it probably gives you a bit of a bounce off that price. Goes without saying. But just got to be in G. I'll be scalping it down to about 530. That was a key level on the way up. So why not use it on the way down, guys? PEC is open, I think, in about 1 minute. And it's right on a big level. And that's one of the reasons why I did also get out of it. It was halting in the money, but this $11, I mean, if it bounces off this again, I've seen a couple of halts do the exact same thing this morning, bounce off a bottom and then reopen and retest that high. If that's what happens here in PEC, I want to play the short off 13. So I don't want to be holding 13s when I can get out, take the buck, take the $1.50, and then just get back in on a reopen. Brendan?
There's a little, it's actually mid cap. I was just double checking. Futu, F-U-T-U Holdings, which is a fintech from China. You can see 6.6 billion on the market cap there for this one. 18% today. All-time highs for this one. I'm not seeing headlines, but $50 down here. We're at 58 for F-U-T-U. Guys.
Well, you don't know about Futu? Okay, yeah, neither do I. 78.40 here. We're still watching Micron. I mean, I'm trying to find some new ideas for you guys, but honestly, like I don't want to stamp my name on things that I really don't think are the best opportunities for you guys or for me. So we'll just continue to talk and look at some of the stocks that we did have in play before. One stock that I'm going to go off script here because now I'm changing my mind and going over to a stock that we haven't traded yet, and that was CCL. I did like a 1980 downside break. It came close to that in the pre-market. That's kind of why we looked at it down there. I actually wrote down 1980. So, wow, I wrote down some really nice. Look, even if I missed that one, look at the Alibaba level that I liked, 231 there. Oh, Palantir, we got to look at that. It was 2350 or so. We can look at Palantir in a minute. But right now, Carnival Cruise Lines to the downside, 3-minute chart. I just liked this break, but it obviously didn't happen yesterday. We were absolutely large and in charge on this break, man. I had one of my biggest positions ever on CCL on this break, and that's why we were 8 times our goal yesterday, and we're I'm not going to say it. A certain amount of times our goal already today, but we've adjusted it. So 20.43 right now could be a nice little bump on CCL. The problem is I go long and short both ways. It's no problem, but I don't want to go long CCL. I'd rather go short. So what about this break right here? It might happen very, very soon. 20.25. Let's test it on CCL.
Reopen on PEC. It was a 10-minute halt anticipated. I thought maybe they'd have a shot to bounce back to the upside of that 13, but 11 was a key level. It goes below it. Yep. I short when it takes that 11. Now 10's going to stand out as an obvious level here. You got that pullback on the news, so I just scalped out some for that 10.50. We like the 50s. We like the quarters. We like the evens. That's what we're going to use on the way out here. But PEC, I'm trying to pick my spots on this name. I thought it'd be a little bit stronger, but you can't fight the tape. And Alibaba getting close to first target. We'll try to take 80 pennies on the first third of that position as we work it down to VWAP. Brennan, what's up?
Day high alert here, guys. Fubo TV back to the upside. Just tagged 29.5 on volume again. We're looking at that kind of pivot from the initial push, 29.40. So it did get above that, but looks to be struggling here. 29.50 for Fubo.
All right. 29.
29.
Yeah,
Oh.
wow, what a great call.
I thought the wrong, for a second there, I thought a different number there. I don't know.
Wow. What a big move there. We gave you guys that on 27, and we talked about why I loved 27. It was this break right here. The only problem is your boy doesn't have it because it was in the pre-market, and we didn't take it there because we were too busy with PEC. Oh, I did take so I got out of PEC there, and I did take the long at 50, and then we got out again at 70 there. So we scalped a quick 20 cents back on PEC. So it looks like net, I'm not sure what it's going to show on the bottom, but I think we're up like 70 or 80 cents total on that one. That was $3 in the money, so we did give it back on that halt, but we were able to pick some up on the long side there and take that. So I'm always playing the 10.50 markers. So we take that and we get out at 75. So just scalp it for a quick time there. I know Neil's short Alibaba, and yeah, you know what? I like the short, obviously, but I do think that we could break, and I know Neil's waiting for that break as well. That'll be his out, but 37.50. I think you could even take more on that break, but we're still long right now. I don't expect a whole hell of a lot on a break of 37.50, but it could be there. And look, man, I'm $9 in the money on this one. Micron, we're going to get out soon. I believe 77.80 we're going to get out on. So if we break through there, 77.85, this little tick down, we are going to give up a little bit as the NASDAQ trying to make moves downside. So we're giving up a little bit from our highest spot, but whatever. Look where we're long here. 76.12, 76, and we did tweet this out as well. So here comes the out. And again, this is what I want to talk about with you, Mr. O'Leary, and about risk management. And there it is. So there we go. Put the money in your pocket and move on, right? If you don't get out of your trades, guys, they're not winners. I did want to give a big thank you also, again, for our super chat of the day there, Byron. Thank you so much for that $100. And I could really care less where Jack Ma is right now because we rebought Alibaba at 222. You guys saw that. I tweeted that out for a longer term play. And now we have a $9 winner on this name. So thank you so much for that. I did find another super chat in there. I'm going to go find who it was and shout you out because I think we missed it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the chat's going rather fast here, and I just saw a couple of questions, and some people have asking, and Sean already answered about what is a long and what is a short, but I saw someone saying what's the definition of a long, 30 minutes or longer. I think in that case, when you're talking about time frames, it's really more about whether you're talking about swinging, scalping. Scalping usually is for a smaller amount of time. Or a smaller increment in terms of the percent range. So, in and out for, a couple of percent when a stock is going to move 20 or 30, that would be scalping. Holding it for a matter of minutes instead of a half an hour, that would also be scalping. But a long just indicates that you bought the stock and you want it to go up. And you own it and you're going to be selling it. So it doesn't matter how long you hold it, as long as you bought, you are in that position. I'm going to go back over to PEC if I can, just for a quick little second. It did catch a bit of a bounce here, and this is starting to tighten up this range. And part of the reason why I want to get out in front of 10 if I can, usually post halts, the idea behind it is you get better price discovery. So that's another reason why day trading and short selling, all those things are valuable because price discovery matters in this world. But PEC, if it makes this little tight wedge here, I do not want to get trapped holding it all the way back to 1150. That looks like it's going to be in play. Previous low was at about 1108. I'll go with around that as an area stop, so call it like 1110, 1115. I'll try to get out of PEC if it comes back to the upside. Just slowing down a little bit so it maybe limits some of the upside of my trade. And I don't want to turn this winner into a loser, which we never really want to do anyways, but PEC just sort of seeing on this particular chart that it's forming a wedge. And I don't know, oddly enough, probably not a bad time to say this to you guys, because I think we mentioned this chart pattern in the video, so why not let you guys know? We did do this on our educational channel, Market Wisdom page, and it's more in depth. It's a basics for charting, so it's not like we're going to go super deep into every single indicator that you need to see, but if you want to learn the basics and understand what it is that you're looking at and when you're expressing the market through this particular lens, do check it out. We are dropping these as often as we can on topics that we think are interesting to you. So hey, you know what? If you want us to cover something for a little bit more than 5-10 minutes, like a half an hour type video, let us know in the chat, tweet at us. We'll make sure we get that on our list and get that one to you guys. PEC seems like it's sliding down. It feels like the smart thing to do is just take some more shares out in front of that 1050 instead of trying to hit the home run because it's slowing down a lot. Alibaba is not slowing down a lot.
Never.
I will, basically this, I mean, I don't have a baseball analogy for it other than every now and then you've got to hit that single and each row has to have a partner. His was, I'm going to say Jay Buhner, Sean, for hitting home runs. Obviously, there's another guy named Ken Griffey, but I'm going to go with Jay Buhner because I love that guy. But I just got the first scalp out, like I said, 70 pennies. It is still forming a bit of a pullback, but this is an upward trending stock, and I'm going against the grain. So once I hit first target, stop is still in at 237.50. If I hit second target here above this consolidation, my stop would move down as it goes in the money for me, so I don't want to give back that trade on Alibaba. It is 10:20. And that means it's time for our small cap recap. Brendan is at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at some small cap names we were discussing in the pre-market. If you joined us early on this morning, this ALRN on the watch list this morning. Wow, just rolling over again. This thing has been so weak. Watch 120 there for ALRN. Still 22%, but we're well off the highs. 230 ended up being the level at the top. My plan going into the open was wanted more into 230 with a tight stop above it. Never gave you that. This ended up being $2, so it got rejected pretty hard at $2. Gave you a great move. Yeah. Back to day lows right now for this ALRN. MRKR, I mentioned this one early on. If you missed this 250 test in the pre-market, I was kind of hoping we'd get some sort of move back to the upside. It is starting to come back to life a little bit here with volume coming in, but $2, a bit of a problem here for MRKR. Still watching that if we do get up to 250, but it needs to get going. BNGO, one that I'll give you my take on this one anyways. 575, 620, and then 650. All levels from yesterday's big mess once we had this move off of the open. So gapped down significantly, obviously. Thought it was an offering, actually wasn't an offering, but 575, 620, and then 650. So just testing this 575 here. We'll see what happens on the way back down for BNGO. Great opportunity this morning, guys.
Yep, BNGO's definitely a good one. We did get into CCL. That's 2 days in a row I left BNGO for you guys. So good thing you guys are destroying that one today. Good trade there, Brendan, and good review of that. We are right now into CCL. So we take the 25 break. I don't know how I get 23s, like not 24s, but whatever. 1 penny difference right now won't make that much of a difference. Futures coming down now, though, right? So you got to watch out for some of those plays as it looks like they're trying to get exhausted a bit here to the downside. So watch out. Like CCL should have broke already, in my opinion, and that's what I mean when I'm saying stuff like watch out. Like I really feel like it should have broke already. So we're going to only give it back small to VWAP. 2033 right now. We'll probably get out. That's kind of this top right there. Again, it could be wrong. Like I said, CCL should have gone down on this move, so I'm not going to give it that much room to go there. And we did get out, and yeah, compliment for sure. Neil could be my Ichiro, and I'll be Ken Griffey. I love that analysis.
I said Jay Buhner.
I don't care about Jay Buhner. We're going to go. I'll take Ken Griffey because we're hitting the bombs over here, and most people would think Ken Griffey would be Superman as opposed to Jay Buhner. But yeah, Ichiro's the man. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. Ken Griffey, nice little move to the downside there. We talked about that 237, but yeah, Griffey got out there on a 236 break. So right there, an $8 winner for you guys. And we're going to be flat soon because one CCL breaks, we're out, and then flat. So we got to look for more to get into right now, but yeah, good analysis there. And I saw Deshaun Watson, Neil, also led the league in passing yards, 4,800 yards.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're losing a lot, you tend to throw the ball up there a little more often. And a certain someone didn't play last week, so it is what it is. I just got the second leg out on Alibaba, and as I mentioned, that means I'm going to tighten my stop up. It's not by much, but just back to this 237. If it comes all the way back in, like we said, there's another short to be had at like 242, 242, 244, and I know Mark liked 247, so it just wouldn't shock me if Alibaba bounced off VWAP here and gave you a bit of a push in a secondary one. That's why I want to tighten things up. It's going to be a 237 stop. If it goes to VWAP, I'm going to try to manually get out on a bounce just because I want to have exposure to the downside if it breaks and continues to run. And the only reason for that change of tone is I'm just seeing the market roll over as well. So if you're in a position and the market happens to cooperate with you, I've already taken the scalp portion out of it. I might as well just roll the rest of it. I've done this in the past, and I like the way that it works. If it does break 234.50 here, a decent shot to get down to like this pullback, 233.50 before you have the next support level on Alibaba, guys.
Yeah, maybe we can get $8 winners both ways there. That'd be nice.
If it goes to 230, I will be very, very shocked, and probably I'll be trying to bottom pick it for a long that won't work out. That's
yeah, exactly. So let's hope it gets there. Okay, JAG-X right now. You guys were talking about that a little bit earlier, and yeah, it's doing a hell of a lot of volume. 129 million shares and fading right now off that $3 level. Great trade there to be short that 3. So again, if you're looking at something like that, when you see a stock kind of go, like this, all the way up to $3 here, and just breaking levels day after day, you got to be very, very careful here. So that's Jaguar Health, not Jaguar Mining that you'd find in Toronto. But 260, it's coming back down. I still think there could be a long back in here. Would rather it start to break a little higher through this level, 270. So I think if we can get through 270, we will try one more. We'll try for a first time through JAG-X, through 270. Let's take a long. But tons of volume, man. 131 million shares. I bet you that this is being probably destroyed by a lot of traders today because it's not really moving too much, but you do get some nice ones here. So I like to take out this level one more time for a retest near 3. So let's try it. 270 break on Mr. JAG-X. What up, B?
Yet another semiconductor showing a lot of strength so far this morning, guys. We'll have a look at ATOM. This is actually all-time highs on the daily chart here for ATOM. Just popped back through $20. We tested all the way to 22 just before the open there. There was individual news. So semiconductors strong again today, but this Atomera Incorporated, so they did a licensing agreement on one of their patents, so a manufacturing licensing agreement for one of their patents with another company. So ATOM, 27%, guys.
And just for an absolute lark, I was kind of curious to see whether Jaguar in Toronto was up. Because wouldn't be the first time that you see people buy up another name or have increased interest on some stock that shouldn't move, but people mix up the symbols. You don't think that something like that should happen, but trust me when I tell you it does, and there's opportunities when it does happen. Look, this is one of the reasons why I'm taking profits on BOVESPA. If I think it's still a bit of a bullish trend, you're going to get these little bounces here, and I anticipate one could be at VWAP that hasn't happened. But that's why you take a little bit out when it goes like $1.50 in the money for you. Even if you think it can be a bigger move on a pullback, there's no need to fight it too far. Now, I don't know why I missed JAG-X. It was much like BNGO. I was sort of trading that one sort of as well throughout the day. And speaking of BNGO, another flush to the downside. So I got triggered out of this when I talked about the last short I had, which was off this pre-market level here at 572. So that's where my out was. I'm just going to get out every single time. It does slide back down in the money. I can't get mad at myself for covering it because it was following my plan. If we can get back below this level here, like 520, which is obviously this dip buy here, and VWAP, that's where I think there could be a bit of a floodgate opening up again on BNGO. And we're going to go to Brendan, but we'll come back and review PEC. It finally broke 1050.
Both Bitcoin, guys, just double checking here. Bitcoin, yeah, back above 32,000, but look at Ethereum, 5.3%. We'll update that coming up. NCTY, the reason I checked, 20% now, just made a day high, back to $8 for this one, guys.
Okay, so we did get out, whoops, wrong price, but that's okay, we'll take another price here. Okay, so just to review some CCL there, we stayed disciplined, we get out on a 35 break, but then, again, I don't know, I guess I was just using these tops here. Normally, we would play a VWAP there, so I don't really know really what I was thinking. It was probably just these tops right here, 36, 37, that we wanted to get out, and we didn't want to get too crazy there, but we did re-short into 40, so let's just wait to see now. So that was a 10, 12 cent loss there, but we're re-short again, and we're going to get out if it breaks 40. We're just going to try CCL. Yesterday, this thing tanked. I don't know what's going to happen today. Obviously, it looks like it wants to go up here. It didn't go down on this market move, so I'm not going to be too stubborn. I just want to see if that was a blowout top there. There we go. Yes, down to 28.29. So maybe we're right. Here it goes. CCL down to the downside. We got to make sure that we take bang, some profits off right there. So look, we just broke that trade down for you. We're making it all back right now on CCL. Okay. What's up, Brendan, Neil?
No, sorry, I was just literally like, I have this like tiny little program monitor here, so if I'm trying to follow along sometimes, you see me squint like this, I'm trying to actually see Sean's chart, because usually you sit next to me and we see what's going on there. But anyways, that's all that was. I said I'd go back to PEC. So it just bounced off 10, not 10, but like 10.30 again. This was the dip. You had the run up in the pre-market, and this is after that 8 o'clock sort of ramp that usually some of these stocks will get on volume, and then pulling back right into this 10-12 level. It's having all kinds of trouble breaking 10.30. Because this is sort of an obvious breakdown price, and if it breaks there, you can sort of go short off of it. I'm going to tighten up the stop one more time, lock in the last little bit of profit. I said as it formed that little wedge, that it could break back to the upside, and I do not want to get caught if it does. So again, the better trade was the first short. There's nothing wrong with taking the second short. I usually really love these after a halt, but that doesn't mean that it has to be the better trade for me, and it wasn't. The other trade that we talked about here was Alibaba, and if you can't beat them, I think the saying goes that you're supposed to join them. Anyways, I don't know. The rollover stalled out. We did take 2 legs out. I had tightened up the stop. We do have the break through the high of the day. And I'm not holding this thinking it's going to that 242, 244 that we're talking about. But this is more of a scalp breakout trade for me. If it gets to like a 230, if it gets to like a 239, 240, that's probably where I'll terminate the entirety of this trade. I've already scalped some out for about 40, 50 cents. The next leg will be a 238 break, and 238.50. I'll probably cover the rest. But Alibaba, I thought it'd roll deeper to VWAP, but because it's not written in stone and it was a bullish stock, that's why I wanted to get out in legs, and that's why I wanted to tighten up the stop a little bit, because Baba, you can't seem to stop it.
If you only saw what Valeria was doing right now, guys. I know I ratted you out. Putting the makeup on. Oh, well, nothing wrong with that. Now she's going to give me shit for that. Okay, 2021 to the downside right now. We reverse over on Alibaba. Yeah, we sit right beside each other. So when I look at the screen, just like Neil was doing there, sometimes we get caught. 2021, 2025, watch out for 2015 to the downside. Going to shout out my mother-in-law again. It worked for me yesterday. What's up, mother-in-law? I hope everything is well up there in the Great White North. But we are just chilling out right now. Oh, okay, JAGX. So CCL, guys, like a glove. So we belly danced that one. We just talked about why we went re-short. Just thought that, like, whenever I see these kind of wicks there, where we blow off right to, like, basically the very next spot that's already did that, mistake by me getting out there, but mistake corrected. So we take a loss, then we get right back in, and then look at this. Ding, 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 ding. This is almost like, I don't know how this happened, but maybe we're getting too many people watching us now hitting this with us. JAGX 270 long. We just take it right there. So we put on some real risk now on JAGX. Let's just see how far it goes upside. If we can get anything out here in the 80s, I think that would be pretty nice. 80, 80. What is this high? 83, 84. So a nice little long here on JAGX. We're long 70 right now. It's at 74. Nothing wrong with taking some off. We have some serious shares. Go JAGX. Let's go. I told you we trade everything over here. What up, B?
Watch GM, guys. General Motors just saying they sold 771,323 vehicles in Q4. That's up 5% quarter over quarter. This one as well, LCTX on the NYSE exchange, 7.5%. Little therapeutics company just popping up on a volume scanner. Not sure there's headlines yet, though. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. There's about an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are trading lower today. Georgia runoff is in focus. British retailer Next is up more than 7% after it said its Christmas sale were much better than expected. Back to you.
Yeah, just looking at GM here, guys, there was a bit of a spike through 41 there on that headline. So better than expected deliveries for Q4 for GM, guys.
Yeah, someone just said I just moved to the craps table. Look, I told you I trade whatever's moving, whatever the opportunities are there. We trade PEC. We do really well on that one. And then we go over to JAGX and look, man, still the same. I don't change the way I trade. And why would I do that when it's been working the way it's been working? And trust me on that one, guys. Okay, so here we go to the upside. Well, you don't have to trust me. If you're watching the show, I mean, you can see the profits at the bottom, and I keep saying it, and it's not trying to insult others, but we're really trading here, and these are real trades. You guys can see all these going through. Our best out there, 77, 78, and we're just getting some out now. Again, 71, 72, up to 74. I told you we took some real shares, so we're getting light now. We only have 40% left, but nice trade there on JagX. All we're doing, guys, layer, right? Like, so what happens is your pocketbook is one way, and then when you start putting on more trades, this can happen. So we're falling back down, more money, more problems, but in my case, not a problem. I just got to worry about the tax man cometh.
The tax man, yeah, that's hey man, death and taxes. That's what they say. There's no way around it, guys. Obviously, implications when it comes to corporate taxes certainly tonight. So definitely a topical thing there. And of course, we're talking about the runoff. Now, Alibaba, a breakout trade for me that I think I don't have a huge target on. Like I said, I was probably never running that past like $1.50 to $2. So it's going to be a tighter stop. I was able to scalp some out for a win, and then it got back to break even, and we just took that trade off. So we're going to be up on Alibaba. It could have certainly been a heck of a lot better if we'd rolled back to VWAP. But you can't beat them. You join them sometimes momentum-wise, and it just didn't go right away. And for a breakout, that's what I want to see. Bingo here, I'm just going to call it Bingo, could not hold below this VWAP in that 520 level. It was like a little break and then snapped right back up. Trust me when I tell you, if you're looking at level 2, which I kind of saw in the corner of my eye, essentially dipped down like 10 pennies, and then it was not a gap up, but it was certainly a market order showing some strength. It's trying to roll over here off of this 550 level, the 545, which is probably worth a play, but Bingo has shown me this before, and it's not been the correct move to continue to try to short this after it's found a bottom until it's tested the high. So I'm going to stay away from doing it until we're below $5. That's the new read I have on it after fighting it a little bit too hard and not waiting for that one good trade post like 10, 10.30, which tends to be the way to go. JagX continues to do fantastic volume and check. I know a lot of you guys are watching this name in particular. I had one shot at this. In terms of a bit of a pullback long, and then the second one accidentally reverse short, covering some of that position. Should have held it, didn't. Obviously, you can see it's now below VWAP. Someone's saying they saw a bull flag on the 1 minute for this name. I actually see this as an opportunity to play off a 250 level to the short side. This one is coming back in CHEK here. So I'll play this one now that it's below VWAP off that 250 level and see if we can't short it into the opening range bottom about 215 or so.
Yeah, I mean, lots to trade here. Neil and I making quite a bit of damage here, and traded what, I don't know, 7 or 8 names today, 126 fills. So I only have 20% left of JagX, guys. You could see each one of these outs, 10, 20, 30, 40. They're all 10%, doesn't matter. You can add them up yourself. But we do have VWAP right here. We're going to get out if it breaks it, and then keep whatever money we have in our pocket. So again, we only have 20% left. So this will be a 12-cent hit there, but when you add this all up, that is what it is. It's not going to make a big damage to us, but excuse me. The reason why is I'm watching, I just took a huge gulp of that water. 247, 248 rate here coming to the downside, and you got to watch out for those levels. So, I'm going to get out. It's just too choppy up here. I thought on this break, and again, this is what we're doing, man. I'm just educating, going through what I'm thinking. Could be right, could be wrong, but like you get this little bunch. I don't want to trade in here. So if we come close, I just want to get out because the next move down, if it wants to, it will test. Like if it wants to go down, it will test this 47 and then just keep going, and then 40. And then I give up all this profit, right? So I'm not about doing that. So let's wait to see if it breaks here 260. I think that's going to be my out. There it is. So now we go out. So there it is, right on VWAP, just as planned. So we'll floss it off for execution. The profit is still there, so that's a thumbs up. But could have been a little bit better. Oh my God! Don't tell me we just got a blowout bottom there again. Let's see if we take this out. We'll go long one more time. 262. If I can get 262, we'll go long one more time on JagX. What up, Brendan?
Another one moving downside today, guys. First Solar, FSLR. Goldman out with a double downgrade on FSLR, 6.5% here. Just testing day lows, 94.5. Got actually down to 94 on the initial flush, but big negativity for some of the Solars today.
Yeah, which is interesting. Certainly those could have some positive wins depending on what goes on tonight. I talked about check. It just started the position here at 35.5, so able to get a bit of a midpoint fill. Always nice when you save a half a cent here, but I'm going to be, because this name has done 150 million shares, you start to see the range tighten up. I'm definitely going to be scalping some of this out. So like every 5, 10, 15 cents on the way down to that low, you're going to see orders. They'll sort of get spattered around. I think Sean mentioned layering orders into the bid. So if it does fall, you benefit from that without having to throw an order and go back over to the name. I'll still take some more shares if we get up to VWAP, but that hasn't happened just yet. I don't know that we've done this yet, but I talked about the video that's coming out today. I'm going to get to this ALRN in a quick second, but I want to let everybody know that we do have Evan Gaffenberg, he's CEO of Nextech. This will be the second time coming through to give a little bit of an update. They had an uplist, and they're going to be going to the NEO exchange. So we're going to have him back. I think that's going to be right at 11:15, so stick around here just about a half an hour or so. Brennan will have that lined up. We try to bring topical guests, and they had an interesting piece of news that I know a lot of you guys were following the crypto space when we had them on last time, but a different topic here with the uplisting on the NEO exchange, which we trade from time to time, although I haven't traded anything in Toronto in a while, outside of calling up that Jaguar, hoping that somehow there were a few fools that thought it was the other stock and you could quickly just buy it, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately.
What a beat.
One with some COVID ties, guys. Express Spa. We've looked at this one many times, just popping up. You can see big volume spike just coming in here. It just went from 117 to 125. I know it's not huge, but volume, the story here, 6% on the day. Just going to double check on Express Spa.
Yeah, don't discount that stock. We've seen that stock, I mean, and to use a word that we always use, but go parabolic. XSPA can do that. So, okay, just to let you guys know, JagX does go, and like I said, honesty is what we're doing here. JagX goes back through 62? Yeah, 62 there. It doesn't go. It only goes as high as 64. So we quickly in and out there. So we won't be overly positive on JagX because that long does break that. We get out there. We hold some of our profits, then give a little bit back there and lose that 5 cents. And look, I mean, we don't have this crystal ball, but this is why I was saying to you guys, getting out here is so important because remember I said the minute you start trading in this area, this could happen. So there's the break, and that's why you don't hold it. So you got to be a little bit reasonable. And all we're trying to do is, I mean, so many times we hear about accounts getting blown up, like I blew up my account, this and that. And it's because, like, you know, you take the risk here and you think it's going back to 3 and then breaking, but you just, sometimes you got to just bite the bullet, pay the commission or the no commission and just get out of your trade. Like, say, you know what, this is a 20-cent hit, I'm gone, I'm flat, I'm out. And I think that sometimes you got to have that responsibility because, like, if you have 5,000 shares here and you take this profit, so you're still up, and then all of a sudden you're holding that 20% and it comes back down here and you get out of that trade there, you still have some money in your pocket, and then you're not worried because if I still have 5,000 shares at 270, now it's 245 and moving lower, like where are the next levels all the way down here? Next thing you know, you're losing a couple G notes there. So yeah, I don't like that kind of trade. You got to be reasonable and you got to be responsible with your trades. And there again, just another example of what we're trying to do on the show.
Sean, you slipped something in there that needs to be said twice. Sure. I think it's you said with zero commissions, why not to just quickly get out? That's all the more reason to make sure you take that loss because it's not going to cost you anything if you see another setup, guys. And I think that's part and parcel with discipline, but zero fee trading definitely gives you that opportunity to take that tighter stop and understand when you're wrong because getting back in is cheaper and a little bit easier in that regard, especially with liquidity that we're seeing. I'm seeing an interesting board up there, so definitely let's go to Brennan right now for the sector watch because something's standing out on that one, Brennan.
Hey guys, yeah, interesting to say the least. I think the market needs a little bit of help right now because we are positive, 0.14%. But yeah, all about the energy stocks. That's pretty much it as far as strength is concerned. The energy group as a whole in positive territory. The entire group, not a single name, negative on the day. Oxy, Fang, MRO, Apache, 7+% for all of these. OPEC and Russia meeting again today, trying to figure out to cut, to not to cut, how much to cut, even if they will cut. So oil getting a nice boost today. You can see all of the energy names in positive territory. Let's go down to the tech group here. Micron, 4.75%. LRCX QCOM had some news today as well. And NVIDIA, about 2% to the upside. So semis are strong, but look at the weakness coming from both the hardware and software makers, kind of offsetting that strength. So overall, tech stocks are positive, but only just. Wanted to point out some of these apparel makers back in positive territory. Under Armour standing out again today, 2.5% to the upside. Ralph Lauren right beside it there, about 1.5%. There's Gap, L Brands, Expedia as well, 1.2% to about 2.5%. For some of the retailers, we talked about Bed Bath & Beyond earlier as well, also showing some strength. Healthcare stocks are actually negative, but it's all because of the pharmaceutical names in negative territory, offsetting a few of these that are positive. Industrials also basically flat on the day, not really doing anything. I had GM up there just before we came on, but I don't see it now. We had some news on GM, better than expected deliveries, so that was higher. Financials, consumer staples, and utilities are negative. A couple in the materials group also showing some strength. But yeah, market needs some help, guys, because it's only the energy stocks lifting it to the upside right now. Back to you.
Yeah, this market is bleh today. I mean, we're still up, which is nice. And we talked about that yesterday. We can go over the QQ. Not that many Qs, Sean. We can go over the QQQs yesterday. We're now taking out some of those highs that we talked about yesterday. Not highs, but these levels. Let me go do a 3-minute chart. Why I like the market today a little bit better was because of this. We ended on a decent run yesterday. So we actually closed the triple Qs about 309. And these were the levels that I was just talking about right there. Taking out these 310s. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit more. This was 310.30. So, I mean, we're literally right there. So that was a nice move. And like I said, that's about half back. So yesterday we opened at 315. The bottom is 305. We closed about 309-ish. We did have a little dip down to 305. Remember I said if we can retest this bottom, then look out below. But thank God we didn't have to worry about that. So 305 coming through, but we're right at that spot right here. So I think this is a tipping point right now for the NASDAQ. Watch out for the triple Qs breaking back down below. VWAP's right here, man, 310. This looks kind of spicy to break to the downside right here, guys.
Yeah, sort of speaking of downside, it's a slight move down, but we talked about that 215, 216 area, opening range bottom, whatever you want to call it here, on check. I did, like I said, put orders in all the way through. I only have like 20% left. If it gets to the absolute bottom, I'll actually probably be out of it altogether. It's just a 35 half short. It never gave any other entries close to the VWAP there. I would have liked it at 40, but the consolidation didn't last. I got in and then it came straight to the downside. Brendan?
If you don't have it now, you're probably chasing it a bit, but Fubo, guys, just made another day high. We just broke $30 there on a volume spike. We're kind of getting back into these levels from the daily chart, so just be aware if you are trying to stretch this out a bit. We're getting into some possible resistance for Fubo.
For us,
It's like right to that price.
All? I don't know. Fubo. I can't figure out what we put for the O on the bottom of that one. But the Qs is breaking right now, so you got to watch out for the downside. So let's go over Fubo. Nice little call there, Brendan. Whoa. Wow. Yeah. I mean, again, if we can rewind, man, this was the call right there, 27. We didn't have it. We were too busy celebrating everything else that we had, including Alibaba with a nice little runner. But now Fubo, yeah, breaking 30. Looks to be a nice little runner there if anybody has it. I don't know if I like that 30 break. I remember I was joking about getting back to 30.50 today. I was like, I don't know if we get back there, that's where I like it. So let's kind of hold that to our chest there. A break of 30.50, and I'm going to be long on Fubo. So I'm going to wait until that happens. But I do like a 30.50 break on Fubo. Of course, Alibaba, I know Neil traded that to the short side. We got out at 236 before it went to day's high again at 238. So right now, just bouncing around. This is why we get out again. Remember, I don't want to trade it if it's in this mess, so it breaks downside. We save ourselves about 70 cents. But again, man, it doesn't go to VWAP, and I just wonder maybe out a little premature there, but that's the way we trade. CCL trying to make moves back to the downside. This is the only name that we have. I think a break right here is pretty spicy. Let's go short again, 2020 if it does break.
Yeah, speaking of a break, I just saw Bingo BNGO tick below $5. It just bounced off like a 490 handle there. I'm going to try and take this one. Hopefully we get some consolidation around 5 to 510 or so, but I started this one at like 97. Not for a heck of a lot of shit, but I want to make sure I get a little piece of this pie to make sure that I'm monitoring it. And if it breaks at 520, no moss, but I'm going to like it down below VWAP and see if it can't continue this bit of a sell-off. I know it's going to seem like if I zoom in on the chart, definitely a bullish tilt to the day, but this is BNGO on the last week. This is the first day gapping down. Obviously, there's way too many executions here for it to make sense. Apologies for that, guys in the chart. We try to show you what we have here to keep it real. But this is an interesting level because on the way up, it broke out off of this 5 to 550 range. Yesterday's session, if we can hold below it, a retest and a hopeful break of like a 425 if you're looking for the shorts. Seems like it could be in the cards. JAGX trying to also make some waves below VWAP as well. It's about 250 right now. I'd like that a heck of a lot better if it tested maybe at least a little bit back up towards that 260 and rolled over. Hasn't done it yet, though.
So I'm going to put, we talked about layering orders and trying to get some out here, when stocks are actually going in the money for you. So we're going to do that right now. We got some bids here at 24s, 22s. We just got executed there. So again, it comes back to me when I just chug the water. 2025 bidding down here. So we're making back money on CCL. Going to turn this one positive. I just double checked it. I do like this break. This is a 3-minute chart. This break of 2020. This is the thing. We have this level there, 2025. That's why initially we went that short. I did like that. And I just don't know why we're resisting here. I'm going to shout out to Daryl if you can help me out a bit here. I know that you've had some winners today on QS and a couple other names that I've had as well. I think Alibaba, Peck, and whatnot. But why are we afraid of this one here? I mean, maybe I shouldn't be. 20. I don't love it as much as I did yesterday. We could base back down here at 20 and change. The top is 2011. Maybe that's a better break to the downside if that's going to happen. But again, I watch these futures, and we can switch over to the ES. Let's have a quick look at that. So the NASDAQ right now, 0.32. The S&P 500, once it loads, is... I can look again. Yeah, this is why I want to talk to you guys. We're about breaking negative right now into the negative territory on the ES. So the S&P downside here while NASDAQ stays up. So I don't know, man. This CCL, I like resisting this VWAP a bunch of times, but it's just not moving too much here, Brendan. Tell me that CCL is like suspended cruise lines or something.
I don't see anything, guys, when it comes to some of the travel names. We did note that 1 or 2 of them were actually in positive territory. So yeah, a little bit of underlying strength maybe. I was just checking on this Global X Lithium Battery Tech ETF. So some of the lithium names, if you're looking for some of the lithium names showing strength today, if you're looking for a way to maybe track some of them, look at this thing, LIT on the Amex here, up to 70.75. Went from 67 this morning up to that point. So a little ETF tracking some of the lithium stocks, guys.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. I like that one, Brandon. Certainly, this is the time of day where you want to make sure you're trading on names that have a continuously solid volume, because as things slow down, you want to make sure you're staying in the active ones. Overall, market is moving a little bit here, but ES is flat on the session, despite that run that we had at the open. I had BT up here. I know we talked, and I don't know why that didn't flip over. Oh no, it's still on BNGO, so I have to go to the 1-minute chart. I wanted to show you the 3-minute chart there, but BTBT back below that $25 level. So obviously missed that first little dip, and that was one that I was watching. I was looking to see if we could hold up at 25 to catch a bit of another bid here. I know it's down 15%. I showed you the daily chart just a second ago. You did see this first day after this little ramp up, and it's not to want a bottom pick on the first day of a turnaround. But 25 would be the level that I like. If we can hold it, maybe catch any kind of a bid here, which currently isn't happening, but I want to anticipate the potential that we do hold the bottom. I'm going to like this for an afternoon move. But if we're still trading in the next 20 minutes or so below this 25 price, or even testing that bottom or breaking the bottom, you can throw that one out the window. BTBT, you don't want to dig too deep. When you have 5 or 6 days in a row parabolic upside, the first day of selling, it can be worth a buy, but you want to make sure you pick the right spot here and don't get too stubborn, because it has a heck of a lot of room to run to the downside if it does want to correct some more.
Okay. Yes, exactly. I mean, and again, just you trade your own book, but those are some ideas that Neil has and I have about some of these names in play. So, look, CCL just goes right back to the upside. I'm not really aggressively trading this right now, but I do like this 2050 right here, possibly as a break. I'm just going to think about switching long. We should be out of our CCL in a minute here on the 40 break, but I kind of like this 50 to the upside. It's just given us enough dancing down here to tell us that it doesn't want to go. So it could have broke 20. We did have an executable order to go to the downside if that broke 2020, but it doesn't look like it wants to. And then there we go again. It breaks VWAP and we get out. We were pretty light, man. This is the short. You guys saw me talk about that. So we had about 20% left there, as now it's breaking higher. I like a 2050 long. So we're going to take that long if it does go. We're very, very close to our high of the day, man. We're not putting in a huge amount of risk into too many of these trades until I find something that I like. I heard something in my ear. If it's throw to Brendan, it is. He's ready. Okay, Brendan over there at the big screen with Money Talk. We'll look at NEO when we get back.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time ahead of the Georgia runoff. We're seeing a little bit of U.S. dollar weakness initially today, but they are coming back to the upside here as far as the euro, Canadian dollar, British pound, are concerned. All in positive territory. The CAD back to 78.5, 123-ish for the euro. British pound back to about 136. So recent highs coming into play again for the British pound. You can see Japanese yen, Swiss franc, little risk off play back to the downside, 0.3%. Australia, New Zealand, both in positive territory. Turkey downside again today, 0.4%. I want to talk about these though. Cryptocurrencies back in play after JP Morgan came out and said that Bitcoin's emergence as digital gold or a version of digital gold could send it to a very specific price of 146,000, not quite 150,000, but back above 32 right now for Bitcoin. But found that interesting, 146,000 from JP Morgan on Bitcoin. Ethereum here 4.5% again today, back to about 1,050 for Ethereum. Guys, back to you.
Ether making some moves there. This NCTY, guys, it seems like you can't stop it. I know, Brendan, you were talking about this one a little bit earlier. We had some trades on it yesterday, but cracking to that $10, and this is usually the type of move that I like to see. You get that second or third parabolic move past like that first opening hour rush where volume might taper off, but on volume it goes up and it's already sliding down. You know, usually you try to get a consolidation here. Maybe you catch like 950 to 970, short off that 10 top, but this just felt like a buck, like an absolute rock. So almost no chance to catch this sort. I'm not convinced that this is done yet, just given the volume of buying that it just made that rush to the upside on. Probably below 8 is when things fall apart on it. I do have BNGO. That one did roll to the upside, so it got all the way to VWAP, it dug in when it got to VWAP. You know, obviously, like I said, it was interesting because I don't usually do this, but I said to you guys, I'd start something at 97 just to make sure that I was monitoring it and not missing out on this. That's why we actually more than triple entered here, up at 520-ish. We liked that price before. That was in the pre-market when we shorted it. That didn't, well, muted worked. It worked for half of it, then the rest of it did not work out. This time, if it breaks this 480, I'll probably only have a quarter of the position on. I'm likely to get back in front of this 530, rinse and repeat, scalp 10, 15, 20 cents at a time if we can, and then try to hold a core position. It is in a bit of a downward trend. And the other one that's doing something similar, but I don't feel is necessarily as weak yet, would be JAGX. Similar pattern here. I just would love to see it test, much like BNGO just tested that top and I was able to get some there. I'd like to see a JAGX test that top, you know, catch that bid off of that 230, 240 range where it bottomed out before, retest VWAP in 260, fail, and then roll over. And I'd like it a heck of a lot better the same way that I like to short over in BNGO, guys. I'm going to go back to Alibaba if I can for a quick second. Still holding up at that high. Now, I know the breakout trade, you could hang on to this one, but you're out of the money, essentially $1.50 on that breakout. So unless you really love it to 240, that's why I believe getting out made a heck of a lot of sense. It's still trying to maybe run back down into VWAP. I think if it breaks 235, it's likely to be a bit of a scalp short in the afternoon. Maybe you get like a couple of bucks out of that trade. That's likely the next thing that I will do on Alibaba. I'm not going to do a breakout at 238, even though it kind of lines up for one. I'd also hunt for that 242 short. And we go through a lot of charts here for you guys. Obviously, bounce from one to the other. This is a 1 minute. You'll see me flip. And if I go too fast, and I forget to tell you, 1 minute, 15 minute, 3 minute daily chart, usually what I put up here. I know I'm not always the best at letting you guys know which one we're currently on. I'll try to be better at that in the future because I try to bounce back and forth, going to those higher time frames to make sure my levels are good. Brendan's always got some good news. What's up, buddy?
Just double checking on another little one here. Sensign Health. This is actually an ADR, it looks like. Listed primarily over in the UK on the LSE, but you can have a look at Sens here on the NYSE Arc exchange as well. Up to 115, had a big volume spike at 115, coming back in a bit, but 2 or 3 days in a row now for SENS, guys.
Sens, we don't like those Sens. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we're here in Toronto, and if you don't know, we like hockey a little bit, and Toronto Maple Leafs are the team to win. And I promised, you know what, and why not? Because I only got that BNGO, and I have a little bit of buyout that I'm market making on. But now that things have slowed down, I said you were not off the hook, Lucas. There was a bit of a hockey game last night, and Canada took care of business against Russia. Now, Valeria did say that now she's in Canada, she loves both teams. But I specifically asked Sean for the odds. If we're going to put a bet on, and Sean said something along the lines of 3-1 favorite. It could be a little bit different from that. Yet somehow, Lucas swindled Valeria into 1-for-1 bet, which I think is a little bit underhanded. it is what it is. But Valeria is a woman of honor and is certainly going to honor that bet, even though I think, whatever, Lucas, it's on you. You knew what the odds were. You took advantage. You shouldn't have done it. By the way, Canada's going to handle business, I think, in that gold medal game. Canada-US, probably a must-watch. I just can't believe, Sean, that they're actually dropping the puck at 8:30. But Lucas, there he is. You're on watch, buddy. I got my eyes on you.
So one of our traders just dropped what sounded like...
What did you do, man?
As long as your computer is fine there, my friend. Yeah,
that's not good.
I think it was literally
That's
5 gallons. I'm going to find out what the odds are on that. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Canada, US?
Don't worry about it, Valeria. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Valeria, you don't have to worry about it. He'll clean that up. I am going to try to find the odds now for the hockey as we go. But okay, Carnival. So we looked at 2050 there. Someone brought in some nice chocolates. Here we go. I have my gambling board up here. Don't show my gambling account. What is wrong with you guys? But no, just playing around. But no, seriously, what's wrong with you guys?
Come on,
as
Lucas.
We go down, Canada. Oh, geez, we are big time favorites to win this one, 5-1. 5-1 favorite, so even more so than Russia. So there we go, Valeria. So your Russia team was better than the U.S. apparently, according to Vegas. Anyways, we're not going to get all political about hockey here. Okay, we said we would look at NIO when we came back, so let's do that quickly. I just looked at CCL. It looks like, oh, by the way, that CCL trade, like sometimes when we give these levels 20-50, like that should have been shorted there. Instead, I waited for the long, it didn't happen, so whatever, but there's another level there. NEO, this is why you're not seeing me trade NEO too much. This is pretty choppy right here, to say the least, right? Back and forth and around, and not much happening here on NEO today. So we got to wait for something to go. I mean, we could have defended this 51 level, but then again, I'm worried about this break one more time. I don't know why. Like, we got out there before ripping up 250. That was a bad out, but right now, NEO just not interesting to me. XPEV, you know what we haven't looked at? We haven't looked at Tesla. We can call that up. You see, this would have been a much cleaner look at a symbol today on XPEV. What levels are we bouncing off of right now? We saw this level before, 42.14. We go back a couple days. What are these bottoms? 41.20. We're getting close to that. So yeah, right now, XPeng to the downside. That would have been a much better, cleaner trade today. As you can see, like there's the XPEV chart. You know, here's the NEO chart. So it's just, I mean, obviously I have a lot of executions here, but XPEV looks like a better, it's XPeng, but the symbol XPEV looks a little bit better than that. Apple positive now, 131.
Yeah, and I mean, this market holding on to, I mean, the ES is literally at evens when I just checked it, maybe taking to the negative side. I'll go back to BNGO. We did scalp out just about everything here. We got that retest of the range at 530 at VWAP, which I was kind of hoping would happen and turn around in JAGX. That has not been the case. That's why you do not see me in JAGX. I still have some shares on for 20%, but if it breaks the bottom, maybe worth a re-entry. 490 stands out here, 485 as well. I'll probably try a reload up at around 520 to 530, but each time it tests that level, I'm not going to like it as much. You have a nice downward trend, which if we hold 490 now, could start to get broken, and then you go sideways during lunchtime. And sideways during lunchtime is not a good way to make money unless you're literally getting out, making spread and aggressive scalps. Maybe you had a program working for you. I'm talking to you, Luis. It's already 11 o'clock. That means we need to get to Miss V at the big screen. It is our European update.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in a negative territory due to the further lockdown impositions and also Georgia runoff elections. Britain is up 0.06%, Russia is up 0.26%, Spain is down 0.39%, and France is down 0.95%. Aveva Group trading in London is up more than 7% after UBS upgraded stock to buy from neutral and raised its target price. Back to the traders.
All right. Yeah, I was just looking at Apple here, talking to some of my friends here, trash talking them about a few different things, as I normally do. Okay. Oh, and then my wife sends me this. I want to give, obviously, a big shout out to her, but I don't know if you can see this. This is last year. Was it last year now? I can't remember even what's happening, but when we were in Paris, we were on the streets drinking in some outdoor club, and it was an absolute amazing. I don't know why this is tilted there, but yeah, wishing. I think she just sent that so we could have some motivation to get back traveling at some point. So I can't wait to do that and get back there. There's nothing better than traveling, especially with your significant other when it's party time. Okay, 260. I mean, here's JagX. I saw someone say it's coming back from the dead, and yeah, it does, man. These levels that we talked about again, it doesn't actually break. So there was some good levels there. I'm just wondering if, should we take this one more time through 270? It made that bottom. If I do take it, I have to give it at least a 235. So we'll double look at JagX, but it is back. I just want to bring that to your attention as it was talked about here on the chart a little bit there. I know you're trading that BINGO. That's doing really well there as well. And Alibaba is still hovering around the high side. And Tesla, what does it bounce off? 750 there? Hold on a second. TSLA, where are we? 735 right now on Tesla. This is what that chart looks like. We just had a nice move. We just had a nice move back there on Tesla from 725. Nice. I mean, look at this base here from yesterday, guys. 720. So something to look at as we progress through today and future days at this 720 level. Bounces there, bounces today to the upside. So watch out for 720. If you're long Tesla, you may want to consider dumping if you do break near the 720 level. But I don't think we get there today unless there's some sort of a crash here in the ES.
Yeah, I was just going back to this name, and I got in and out of it really quickly. And you got to pick your spots because there's several small cap names that have done over 100 million shares today. And you've seen Sean trade JagX, and that, I was trading that one yesterday as well. And BNGO has done 100 million. So trading 4 or 5 of these at once is probably not the best thing to do. And every time I've ever done that, it's been a bad day on those names in particular. So However, I should say, because now that I'm not really in JagX, it just made a run at this 130 level, and it looked like, for all signs, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then these lower highs were sort of tightening up. I thought we were about to break out at $130 and then retest the top, and then we turn around on a dime. So it does feel like if this one fails in that fashion, below this 105, and I know I tried it once, but it just didn't cost much. Playing below VWAP here and that whole price at 115. If we can get below there again, break the 105, I like the play when these can get back below $1, and then you have something on board for when it does, maybe even add at a $1 range. Even if it only gets to like 85 cents, it's just going to be worth the price of admission if you can take a 105 area, maybe get an average price closer to 110, with the 115 stop around VWAP. I know it's not there now. It's still trying to break out that 130, but if that doesn't happen and we can start to head back southbound, add this one to the list. I might prefer it at this point if it does make that move to JagX, which, I don't know, I can't make heads or tails of it. I thought it would slow down at 260 and give me a chance. It just never did. It kind of blew right through that level, which I wasn't expecting, so I'm going to back off from that one.
Yeah, we're going to call a new name now, so we'll do a little siren alert because this is one that we haven't looked at yet. We take a little bit of shares here. Okay. On Snapchat right now, so $50.10. We do have some levels down here, $49.65 or so, but I was just trying to, let's go to a 1 minute chart. Looks a little bit better. I just want to trade this thing around $50 here. Look at the spread. This is something new for me on Snapchat. It never used to open up like this. So I don't know. To me, I think that this has a little bit of room to go. Let's see if we can defend 50. I mean, the ultimate bottom there is 95. So I think we can give this probably till about a 90 break to see if this is going to work. So what's my average price now? 05. So let's go higher here and see this little drop spot there at 20. We can get some out, maybe 15, 16. Speak of the devil, I think that's probably worth it. Let's see if we get 14s right now off a nice little run. We're long at 05. It just ramped up right to where we were talking about there. So maybe we can get some out at 14 if we're lucky enough. Come on, Snapper. Let's get going here. It's looking to break. Watch the ES. This is the NASDAQ, but watch the futures here, trying to make some moves high side. Take a little bit off Snap if we can. Take 6 cents in just a matter of seconds here. What's up, Beep?
Just watching some of the cannabis names, guys. CGC popped up earlier on a volume spike. 26.5 to 27. We're starting to get back up towards 27. Definitely the strongest one in the group at the moment. There was actually a Cantor Fitzgerald upgrade on this name today with a $33 price target. So a little bit more incentive maybe where you see ACB, some of the other ones, Tilray as well, definitely lagging at this point. But CGC 3% now, guys.
Yeah.
I was just actually checking out, believe it or not, DoorDash, and I had forgotten a little bit about this the last couple of days here, and that 140 level stuck out like a sore thumb because for several days it was just a weird level of support, and then yesterday it did it again where it gave you that break. And I've only taken this once, but 3 times in a row. It gives you the same look, and eventually when it breaks it, it's like $2 instantly. And then look at this little dip down. Now it's up on the session, but if it breaks 140 again or gives you that same look, afternoon consolidation at 140, I'm just shorting the break. I don't care when it happens. It's been worth a couple of bucks every single time, and literally 1 for 5 taking it ever since it was pointed out to me. And it was a great one yesterday in the afternoon as well. So DoorDash on my radar finally. Again.
Yeah, it keeps on coming through. That's for sure. DoorDash, Airbnb, things like that, always on our radar. Okay, I just want to break down this Snapchat trade for you guys one more time. So, we're in at 05. We took some out there 12s. We took some out there 14s. That's 30% out, right? So right there, that's like 7 cents and then 9 cents. So when we drop, if we drop down here below 90, where I'm going to try to get some out, we've already put some in our pocket. So now we can allow this to see about going higher, and higher up on Snapchat as we go. We are, of course, guys, getting very, very close. We've released our charting for beginners. That came out yesterday, so if you guys want to look at our Market Wisdom channel, definitely check that out for sure. And then coming up very, very soon, guys, we do have Evan Gappelberg, CEO from Nextar. AR Solutions, they get the uplist today to the NEO exchange. So we'll talk all about that. And generally, that's like what you want to look for, right? Because when you move from a venture exchange or a minor exchange like that, you get uplisted. You just become a little more visible. And I just think that we'll talk to Evan about that and see what's going on with Nextar. But again, another exciting name and opportunity for you. And again, we'll let him tell you the story. But that's the idea, right? Get the names to you early. It's an uplist. It's an IPO day for them on the NEO exchange. I guess it's not an IPO. It's more just an uplist, I guess, from the venture. Or I think it was a CSE or venture, but they go to the NEO exchange today, so a senior exchange.
Yeah, not dissimilar. Look, not dissimilar from an IPO, because certainly one of the benefits is that added liquidity and visibility. All of those sort of things apply to jump from going private to the public market. We say something all the time here. You make a mistake. I'm going to show you exactly what happened and why. I got out of this. I at one point intended to get this PEC trade and hold through a break of 10 even. Now, I had kept tightening my stop up not to lose money, but I did have a stop at 11. I did not cancel that stop. So when I got out here to manage this profit, I accidentally got into a long trade. Now, clearly, volume spike, $10 key level hold, possible breakout headed towards VWAP. Yeah, sure, it kind of sets up for a bit of a long trade, but I didn't intend to go long. I accidentally left an order in, which is pie in my face. I'm just going to get out. I'm going to pay the spread. I'll take a small hit and then walk away from it. I'll end up like 2 for 3 on the stock. But just because something pops in and you're like, well, that's not too bad. I might like this trade. No, you either wanted it or you didn't want it. And if you didn't want it, then you don't hold it. So I'm going to get out of that PEC trade and then probably watch it go to $12 here. It's possible it's made a bit of a bottom. I would still maintain if it can break down below that $10 range, it might be worth a bit of a short. That, of course, didn't happen, so that's why you didn't see me enter that short trade. This range is getting rather sleepy, so if it breaks out of it, remember, there was this 1150 level I was playing off of originally. I would still have to get through that before it got to VWAP and then retesting 13, where I still think it might be a short up there like we got the first time around.
Yes, exactly. So look at Snapchat, guys. We just tweeted this out, up 1.15%. And what we're doing right now is just getting some out. We just took some out at 17. We talked about defending this 50-25 level. It was defending 50, but looking upside here, 50-25. The reason why this was sort of, we came back down, we consolidated a little bit, but it's been pretty choppy, man. I mean, if these NASDAQ keeps coming back downside there, then Snapchat will break 50. So we get out now. We're actually out of 50% of our trade. I put a little more risk on there. Normally these are 10% each, but we go 10, 10, and then a 30% right there ahead of that 20. So that out was actually just right here at 17. So you can pretty much take that if you did want it. Our QuantumScape, man, that was a big trade today. You could see we were long actually right here, 52.50. It rips all the way up. We get some out at 57 there. We take another 56 long. We did get a little bit worried worried there. So we did take out 20%. Then we took out some more for flat. Then we let it run to the high side. So QS, a good trade for us today. And then Alibaba, I think for me, we're just reviewing this because we're about to go Nextar here. Big day for them, big listing. We'll give you the symbol. Everything's coming up with Brendan in just a matter of minutes. So you guys could definitely have a look at that name. But here's Alibaba off the open. The reason why we like this one, I mean, again, you go back to yesterday, we had 228 tops yesterday afternoon. When I was able to see that come through today, man, we took that. We sat there, we let it run us over, and then look at this, $1, $2, $3, $8 on the last part of Alibaba upside. So a big trade there. And yeah, it's been a big day, man. Only 3 negative days in December, and we're 2 for 2 so far here in January, with yesterday being absolutely monstrous with our CCL move. And then, you know, today, not much happening. There it is. How many? Is that 3,000 likes?
3,300.
Let's quickly get a quick look here. 3,300 likes. Thank you so much today, guys. Over 7,000 watching right now as we get ready to wind down our show. And then speak with another hard-hitting guest, man. CEOs are everywhere, Neil, and we have them on our show today answering questions, and Brendan's going to go over that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing, too. I think we should always say this. When we do have guests on the show, to the best of our ability, if you have questions, you can always throw them in the chat. And if we have the time, of course, we're going to cover some topics that we try to get them to Brendan if we can. So, you know, let us know. Throw them in the chat. There's absolutely no harm. And even if they don't get answered live, which we'll try to do, we can try to have them answered at a later date. We have the advantage of having Evan on for the second time here. So some of you might have seen it before. Before we get to that, once I get it in my ear, we're going to throw to Brendan. But that SYN, looks like we are still trying to break out here. There is that 130. The first time it rolled over, no rollover in sight. So, you know, again, if it doesn't meet the conditions this time of day, I'm not getting into that one or fighting the trade. If it takes out that top at 140, you sort of go back into the higher time frame, which I'm going to do here on the daily chart if it ever loads up. And you start to see there's not a heck of a lot to look at as this is creeping along rather slowly. And you got to go way back. So you start to go back more than a year, and I don't like those levels as much. But when I see something like this, and then I get a 140 possible break, I would not be touching this in terms of a rollover. And I think if I had a level to the upside that I really like, 150, or there was something there, I might take a shot at it. But I sort of run into trouble at this particular time of day, fighting these stocks and the clean upward trends. And you can see these higher lows forming, and then the wedge is going to be around here in that mid to 120 range. And it's still trying to push to the upside. The breakout might be in play, but I don't like 140 to 150 unless you're scalping 5 to 10 cents and you're ready to have your hands on the keys in case it snaps back down on you rather quickly, which we can do that trade here, and I might actually put that one on now that I think about it. So, you know, like a 140 to 141, quickly in and out for 5 to 10 cents with the idea that I'm not holding it if it comes back down and doesn't go right away.
I want to do a little bit more work with QuantumScape because there is a lot of talk right now with QuantumScape. So, yeah, we are going to throw to the guest today in 1 second, guys. We are at that VWAP, and I just want to give people's attention to here. If you are going long QS right now, obviously you saw it drop yesterday, 40%. Today, up another 7%. We did hit that long, which was really nice. But watch out for this 52.50 again. This is that level that we are in at. It jumped down here. You got $3. It jumps down again. You could get $3 again. So congratulations to anybody playing off this level that we talked about early, 52.50. Brendan, take it away, my friend.
All right, guys, yeah, we mentioned it a couple times already this morning. Very excited to have Nextech AR Solutions back with us this morning. Evan Gappelberg, I should say, CEO, joining us once again on a very exciting day for the company. They completed their uplisting to the NEO Exchange here in Toronto, ntar.to if you want to check that out. First day trading on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. We can bring in Evan, guys, whenever you are able to, and we'll have a discussion about the latest developments. There he is. Evan, good to see you once again. Congratulations are in order on two fronts, I should say. We spoke last week briefly discussing Bitcoin and your investment into Bitcoin, so congratulations. We've all seen what the result of that has been. And now the listing today to the NEO Exchange completed. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I don't know if you caught it, but we actually doubled down on Bitcoin. We bought $4 million worth of Bitcoin. We started out with $2 million, and then we doubled down We now have 4 million in Bitcoin. And yeah, today we got listed on the NEO exchange, which is a senior exchange in Canada. That's up from the CSE. And, I was just looking back at our history as a public company. We started trading October 31st, 2018, so just a little over 2 years ago. And Nextech has returned to its investors 2,640%. Not a bad 2-year run for an investor that bought and held Nextech. And so, I would say, I know there's lots of traders, Trader TV, but Nextech is, in my opinion, a very undervalued buy and hold technology company that's part of this digital transformation that we're all kind of experiencing on a day-by-day basis. So, not so much of a trade, more of a buy and hold.
Let's get into that. For any of those traders who may be not familiar with Nextech AR Solutions, let's discuss the company a little bit. Let's discuss the products. Give us a look behind the scenes. What makes Nextech so exciting?
So I would say today's press release is a great example of what makes Nextech so exciting. We're attracting leaders from big tech. So today we announced the president of Microsoft Online has left his job after 10 years, a decade at Microsoft, running a $10 billion business segment for them, their ad network, essentially. He left Microsoft to join Nextech and build our $1 billion 3D AR ad network. I asked him, I'm like, Harish, why are you leaving Microsoft for Nextech? And he said, you guys are the future. I want to be part of the future. And so when you look at Nextech, we have the president of Microsoft Online, who now is running our 3D AR ad network. He just started today. You have our COO, an 18-year veteran from SAP software. You have the guy who's running our APJ region, Yao Boon, who was previously at IBM in a leadership position. Our chief marketing officer comes from Apple. Our chief experience officer comes from Disney. So when you put it all together, you have, this small cap technology company with a diverse group of businesses with leadership that really is the dream team. When you invest, ultimately you're investing in the leadership. You always want to bet on the jockey. And obviously we have numerous experienced leaders coming from big tech to Nextech because they see us as the future. So, I would just say that, follow the smart money.
Now, you mentioned it briefly there, but let's discuss the reason for that. And it speaks a lot to, the confidence they have in the product and the confidence they have in the actual company. So let's discuss the actual products here. And a lot of people might be familiar with the products and not even know it at this point.
So when you look at Nextech, we really are a pioneer, a leader in the augmented reality space. And we have 4 distinct businesses that we've integrated augmented reality into. We also have 3 apps that are live in the App Store today. In 2020, we made 4 acquisitions. So when you look at augmented reality as the backdrop, augmented reality is growing at a compounded annual growth rate of over 46%. It's going from 10 billion to 72 billion over the next few years. If you look at Snap's growth, you guys were just recently talking about Snap, their whole ad network is driving the share price along with augmented reality experiences, the lenses, the filters for the users. So Nextech is part of that. We have 4 different businesses, though. We don't just have one. We have a virtual experience platform, which really is like a virtual event platform. But again, we have augmented reality and artificial intelligence as part of that platform. So virtual events have become very, very hot, in demand. Nobody's going to live events. If you look at e-commerce, we have an entire e-commerce division with brands such as Miele, Dyson, Vitamix, and others. And that business is scaling very, very rapidly. And again, we have our augmented reality integrated into our e-commerce business. And then we have our 3D AR advertising platform, which again is now being led by the former president of Microsoft Online. That's $1 billion business opportunity for us. If you look at the global ad spend, it's going to be over $700 billion in 2020. It's a huge, huge number. So we see a huge upside there. And then we have an ed tech platform where we're creating augmented reality labs for higher ed, specifically colleges. In Canada, it's Ryerson University. In the US, it's Carnegie Mellon University. There's this enormous opportunity to disrupt education using augmented reality. And we've landed a couple of $250,000, $500,000 contracts, which are really just the big institutions dipping their toe in. And so if you look at our business in 2019, we did $6 million in revenue for the full year. In 2020, we tripled that. That was not easy. We haven't released our final numbers, but we feel very confident with that. And so as we go into 2021, we're looking for, and I'm projecting that we'll hit north of $50 million in revenue, which is pretty spectacular when you think that we started really at zero in the beginning of 2019. And so, it's hyper growth, multiple business segments. So you have multiple shots on goal, multiple businesses that will drive revenue, multiple ways to win. It's not one and done. And then, of course, we just invested in Bitcoin, which is the digital currency, right? The digital gold of the future, which is part of the digital transformation. It shouldn't be, seen as anything but that. The digital transformation includes cloud computing, edge computing, augmented reality, virtual reality, the Internet of Things. But let's not forget crypto. Let's not forget Bitcoin. It's part of this digital transformation. It's a digital transformation of money, right? And so Next Tech, being a company that has all of its technology as part of this digital transformation, those are all of our business segments. It makes sense for us to move our treasury out of cash into the digital version of that, which is Bitcoin, into digital gold. And so we're very much aligned with this digital transformation that's occurring, when we're very, very excited about 2021 and beyond.
Evan, I want to touch a little bit more in depth on the virtual events side of the business, in that, given this current state of the world and the pandemic that we're all unfortunately still living through, the opportunity here is one that exists and one that could, grow exponentially over the recent, or the recent future at least. Tell us a little bit how these virtual events are going to play in, an everyday society going forward.
Sure. So with virtual events, I like to say the genie's out of the bottle, right? Where nobody knew what to do during the early days of the pandemic. Live events were shut down, live interactions was shut down. So Zoom became a thing that everybody uses. I'm pretty sure we're on Zoom now. And so the idea with Zoom is it's one to a few, right? So 1 to 20 people, 10, 20 people. Beyond that, it gets kind of a little wonky. So when you're doing an event, though, you basically have rooms that are fully designed and branded, where you have breakout rooms, you have booths, trade show booths. So any corporation that's trying to reach, or any group that's trying to reach an audience, uses now our virtual experience platform. And we really have the only augmented reality enhanced virtual experience platform on the market today, which puts us head and shoulders ahead of our competition, which is why we're landing big name accounts, the United Nations, Bell Canada, Dell Computer, Amazon, TEDx, Carnegie Mellon University, I mentioned earlier, Ryerson University, Restaurants Canada. The list goes on and on. We are landing Fortune 500 clients. I mean, we already have Johnson & Johnson as one of our cornerstone accounts. And we already have Viacom as one of our cornerstone accounts. They use our platforms every day. Recently, we just acquired, so our business model has been really white glove, right? So if you want like an elevated experience where everything's white glove, you come to our platform and we build an event from scratch, essentially. It's like building a whole website. But that's hard to scale. It's super high end, so we're able to charge a pretty penny for it. But ultimately, we wanted to be able to have a product offering at the high end of the market, the middle, and the low. And so we acquired a platform called Map Dynamics, and Map Dynamics really filled that gap for us, so that we now have really the full spectrum of product offerings within the virtual event space. So if you're an association and you're doing an event, you literally can pay us, $99 a month, and you will have a self-serve platform. You load your logo, you have chat rooms, and you basically can have an event. If you want to pay us $499 a month, you can have an elevated version of that, $999 per month, and you get concierge service. You get an actual project manager that'll help you, and then of course we have the VIP version, which is the white glove. And so we now have the entire event market covered. Now I'm going to take you one step deeper into Nextech's vision. So today we announced Harish Achi coming from Microsoft Online. So I want you to imagine, what makes Facebook so valuable? It's their ad network, and they have an audience of billions of people. What's making Snapstock jump? It's their ad network, and they have an audience of 100 million people. What's going to make Nextech so valuable? We have an ad network, and with our virtual events platform, we have our own walled gardens that we're going to be using to serve up ads. That's really the future revenue driver for Nextech. And so think about that.
Yeah, I want to make sure we get to a couple of questions here, Evan, as well, before we wrap things up. I mean, it sounds very exciting at this point. Let's touch very quickly, because I want to give you the opportunity to update us on the NASDAQ uplisting. When you were last here, you spoke about the possibility of the company being uplisted in the U.S., now listed on OTC, possibility of the NASDAQ uplisting. Give us an update on that.
Sure. We have been in contact with the NASDAQ since July 2nd. They came with a bunch of questions. They were dealing with, dozens of SPACs that were trying to get listed before the end of the year. And so we believe we're on the final stages, the 1 yard line. There's nothing really left for them to ask of us. We've answered their questions, and, that's the typical process back and forth. It's taken longer than anticipated. For the new investors, though, today, for the people that bought in, let's say July 2nd, it's been a long wait. For the people that might be thinking about buying in today, I believe it's going to be a very short fuse, a very short wait until we get actually approved for NASDAQ. So it's coming. I think it's going to be soon.
Great stuff. I want to make sure we have lots of questions, Evan, from the audience. We'll get to one here. I'll throw you over to Neil real quick.
Great.
Oh, I actually think we're going to go to Sean here quickly for the first question. Apologies there, Brennan.
Hey, Evan, how's it going? Great interview, very, very informative. The one thing we have here from Eric, He wants to know, and this is your symbol, NEXCF, of course, over on the OTC market. So I do have that up, and it looks like you're in the right trajectory here, bouncing off 5 up to 550. But here it is right here. What industries, and I know you talked about this, but maybe I'll change the question a little bit for product expansion. Like what industries are you looking at? Ed tech, mental health, you just talked about a lot. Which one, maybe, if you can, are you most excited about? And I know you just went over a whole bunch. We talked about the ad space and things like that. Is there a specific industry? You mentioned J&J. Now you have Microsoft on board, former employees of Microsoft as well. If there's one catalyst that you would say, forget about Bitcoin. I know you're into that. Great move there as well. I agree. What is the one catalyst that investors should really look out for with your business?
Today's news, I think, is the catalyst, right? We hired the president of Microsoft Online. It took months, by the way, to bring him over. It wasn't like I called the guy up and he's like, yeah. No. He looked under our hood. He went behind the curtain. This guy's, has an MBA from, Chicago University. He's an engineer, and he's a very smart guy. And so he did his due diligence on Nextech and saw our vision. And I think the light bulb went off where he was like, holy shit. This is going to be big. This is the future. I want in. And so he actually just started. And as I was explaining a moment ago, I believe the biggest opportunity, again, you look at Facebook, you look at Snap, and now look at Nextech. We have a 3D AR ad network, which is state of the art. I don't think anyone else has a 3D AR ad network. We are taking the ad network and we're focusing it on the events industry. So imagine you go to an event and you see a banner at the event, because all these events are sponsored, right? The banner could be in 3D. It could be an augmented reality enhanced banner, or it could just be 2D. It doesn't really matter to us. But the point is there'll be a banner there. Now you're at an event. It could be a dentist's, convention, and Colgate is a sponsor. Let's use that as an example because that's coming up. When you leave that event, guess what? We've dropped a pixel on you. So you're at that event for 3 or 4 days. It's highly targeted. All you have is dentists showing up. Colgate is the sponsor, right? You leave. You're now back to your regular life and you're on the web. Well, we've dropped a pixel on you with our ad network. And guess what? Colgate could come back to the ad network and target that dentist after the event is over. That is very, very powerful that we have these target. I mean, that's the whole Facebook model, right? Targeted audiences, finding your audience. Well, think about events. The people that show up to an auto show, they're into cars. The auto industry now is going to be able to target those people at the event and after the event. If you think of live events, you can't do this at a live event. There's no dropping a pixel on somebody at a live event, right? But in the virtual world, we can do that. And if you think of augmented reality, where, back to the car company, you're at an auto show online, the pixel follows you around. It's an augmented reality ad. You click on the ad of your favorite Ferrari or Porsche or whatever car it is that you dream about. And now it's in your room with you as an augmented reality experience. And you literally can click buy and have it shipped to you. I mean, that's magic. That is the future. And that's what Nextech is building. And today's announcement is really just the first press release about it. But it's something I'm super excited about. And there's going to be a lot more that we're going to be revealing over the next few months. I mean, the ad network's built. This isn't something we're building 6 months from now. This is here today. And now we have the guy to run it.
And that's the important part. Evan Gappelberg, CEO of Nextech AR Solutions. We appreciate your time as always. Best of luck.
Sure, thank you.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at Nextech AR, an exciting product, an exciting time for the company, guys.
Thank you very much there, Brennan. And of course, a shout out and a thanks to our guest, Evan, for coming on once again. I'm actually just all flat here, so nothing too much to see. I'll trade a little at SYN probably in the afternoon. And certainly, if you're not watching Alibaba after this morning's show and the awesome trade alongside, you should be watching it in the afternoon. Sometimes the best trades in the morning carry on through the afternoon. Guys, before we get out of here, actually, you know what? I'm not sure. There's really nothing in terms of earnings. I know Simply Good Foods is probably the only name on that list there. So without any further ado, everybody, there is one more thing to get to, and we're going to do it anyways, even though I can't stand this. I think it's overrated, but let's go to Valeria for what national day it is.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today, for all the support, likes, and don't leave without subscribing to our channel and hitting thumbs up. And happy National Whipped Cream Day, everyone. Do you like whipped cream, guys?
Not as much as that.
It's not bad.
Girls?
It does. That reminds me of my kids. They actually take the whole thing to the head. So
That's like my brother, man.
That's what my kids do, but they're gangster like that. So.
My brother does the same thing. It's not that it's bad. It's just that I don't get it. Like it doesn't taste good enough to be worth the effort. I don't know. And I found like it doesn't add to things. Like I'll have a good pie or a cake, and I don't need the whipped cream on top of it. But that's just me. Everyone, you got to do your own thing. I'm going to say, of course, for the entire team, it's been a fantastic day, and thank you guys so much for the support. Certainly, it's starting off the year the right way, and I think it's going to be a fantastic one. Keep your ear to the ground because should be some actionable events coming after tonight's vote for sure. For everybody here, for Miss V, who is still going to look for some revenge against you, Lucas. We'll talk about that after the show. For Sean Katina and for Brennan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.